Each way, 6 lanes each. 6 lanes each. Just imagine within 4 years, because they had money. And when they started getting the money from oil, when they wanted to build all this infrastructure in Middle East, the companies of British companies, French companies, German companies, Norwegian ones, Americans, all these superpowers, they started uh, robbing these people, right? They started the buildings. Halfway through, they collect all the money, full amount from the sheikhs, and then they vanish. And there were all sort of corruption. Then only these people decided, okay, this is not the way. We had to get a bank guarantee, right? And that's how the bank guarantees came more popularly in Middle East. Some companies were not even capable of starting the work, let alone finish it. පටන් ගන්නව නෙමෙයි පටන් ගන්නත් ඉවර කරන්න නෙමෙයි පටන් ගන්නව සල්ලි, right? Bogus companies. In order to avoid having their fingers burnt and money wasted, guarantees became a requirement for every contract. So for every contract, they said guarantees is a must, bank guarantee, right? In today's globalized economy, you can't just imagine having any business around the world without a bank guarantee. It is so popular now, right? It is estimated the aggregate value of guarantees in the range of hundreds of billions of dollars. $100 billion. Right? Million, billion. Covering the obligations in all sectors of trade and industry, including construction, commercial lending, corporate restructuring, and structured finance all around the world, right? Bank guarantees is not an innovative instrument. It has been on the market for decades, right? So it is one of the so-called traditional banking products. It's a traditional banking product. Especially in the current situation with COVID-19 and all, everywhere you get economic crisis, right? Then in a scenario like that, in the present situation, this particular instrument, bank guarantees, going to play a major role, right? To play a major role. Global markets are very nervous, and everybody aims at security, even for small amount and short tenor business, right? So it is not astonishing that the numbers of guarantees issued number of guarantees issued reach new records every year. Although it's in some regions, the economy is still in trouble, right? ලංකාව පොඩ්ඩක් මේ දාලා කල්පනා කරලා බලන්න. කොහොමද සිටුේෂන් එක කියන්නේ. ලංකාව තමයි හොඳම උදාහරණය. Major construction projects are complex and high risk. Obviously, we know that, right? Because complexity is and inherent in construction industry, right? But its very nature, construction is a manufacturing process, but different to manufacturing a product in a predictable environment of a factory. The risk on a project are staggering. There are so many risks, right? Some of them are, to answer these questions, you should know what is a construction business, right? Then construction business එක මොකක්ද කියන එක ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා. දැන් අපි ඒක ඔළුවේ තියාගෙන අපි ඒක ලොකු බිල්ඩින් එකක් හදනවා කියන එක. එහෙම නැත්නම් ලොකු පාරක් හදනවා. කැන්ඩි හයිවේ එක හදනවා. right? ඒ වගේ සිටුේෂන් එකක අපි බලමු මොනවද තියෙන රිස්ක් කියලා. right? One is physical risk. Physical risk is according to the environment, what is going to happen. Weather, floods, earthquakes, tsunami, right? Physical risk. Then you get labor risk. දැන් අපි මොන හරි ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එකක් කරගෙන යනකොට ඔන්න ලේබර් රිස්ක් එනවා. අපි ලංකාව වගේකට ඒක තමයි ගොඩක් වෙන පොපියුලර් ලේබර් රිස්ක්. right? එතකොට එතන දෙනවා ස්ට්‍රයික්ස් එනවා. work slowdowns එනවා. riots එනවා. work to rule එනවා. ඒවා අපිට බලන්න වෙනවා. ඒ ඔක්කොම risk factors එනවා. human risk. Very important. Human risk. Corruption, vandalism, kadakapal karne, theft, job site safety. You got a design and technology risk. Design and technology risk. Right? Materials, process. Supply and transport risk. Supply and transport risk. Material shortages and delivery delays. Regulatory and financial and political risk. Right? The last but not the least, contractor insolvency and default. Right? These are the some common risk in any industry, right? Contractor insolvency and default. Now we'll see bonds and guarantees. Market bonds and guarantees are a common feature of many capital and construction projects, as well as in the contracts for supply of goods. Bonds and guarantees. Bonds and guarantees dekam ekai. Bonds kiyanne ekai, guarantees kiyanne ekai. Right? Lukku wenasak naha. Apita e gana lukkuta worry wenna deyak naha. They are issued to buyers on behalf of the exporters or contractors, by banks or insurance companies, also shipping guarantee issued by the bank. Right? The guarantees can be issued by banks as well as insurance companies. There's no hard and fast rule. Right? And another type of guarantees issued by the banks are shipping guarantees, which we are going to discuss. Right? Use of guarantees in different business sectors. Normally, the guarantees are used in construction field, then pharmaceutical field, telecommunication scheme, power projects, financial and government infrastructure, extraction and mining. සමහර අය හිතනෝනේ මේ khනිජ ද්‍රව්‍ය වලට අපි පොළොව හාරලා ගන්නවානේ mining. ඔක්කොම use of guarantees in different business sectors. Now you see parties to a guarantee. Parties to a guarantee. Right? ඔක්කොම කියව ගන්න මම තප්පරෙන් එන්නේ. Right? ඒ applicant කියලා අපිට එන්නේ ගොඩක් වෙලාට suppliers ලා. එහෙම නැත්නම් sellers ලා. එහෙම නැත්නම් contractors ලා. එහෙම නැත්නම් නායක නම් debtors ලා. Beneficiary. Beneficiary කියන්නේ either the buyer, employer or creditor. Guarantor. Guarantor is the issuing bank. Guarantor is the issuing bank. And there's another party called counter guarantor. Counter guarantor. Now we'll see who are the, we'll talk about these parties. The first one is applicant. The applicant is a person or entity, if it is a company, there's a company, entity, which makes a request to issue a guarantee, which is based on their contractual obligations. Right? They are the people who will ask the bank to issue the guarantee. Applicant. Then the guarantor. Guarantor is the bank. Guarantor is the bank. It's called upon to issue the guarantee. Applicant. Right? At the request of the applicant to the beneficiary. Normally, the guarantor or the bank will issue the guarantee favoring the beneficiary. The guarantor is under the primary obligation to make the payment to the beneficiary on first demand. The beneficiary is a guy who is the guarantee is issued favoring the beneficiary, and when there's a default or something, if the beneficiary requests the issuing bank to pay, we have to pay them on the first demand. On the first demand. දෙපාර තුන්පාර අහා ඉන්න බෑ. First demand එකෙම අපිට pay කරන්න වෙනවා. Beneficiary. The beneficiary is the entity or person in whose favor the guarantee is required to be issued. Right? මේක අපි තව කැලෙන් කැලේ යනකොට අපිට මම මේක තේරුම් ගන්නලා දෙනවා. ඔයගලන්ට දැනට දැනගන්න ඕනේ the parties. Right? Right. Another important thing in bank guarantees is the independence. ස්වාධීන භාවය. මේ bank guarantees වල ස්වාධීන භාවය. The basic feature of the modern guarantee is its independence from the underlying relationship. Now, the bank and the applicant, they have a relationship, very close relationship. මගේ customer නේ, applicant. ඒක නේ එයා මගේ කාට එන්න bank guarantee issue කරන්න කියලා කියන්නේ. හැබැයි whatever the relationship we are having, right? If there's any payment obligations, we'll have to pay. We'll have to pay. Right? This means that the payment obligation of the guarantor is solely determined by the reference to the conditions of payment as specified in the guarantee, and regardless of any differences under the underlying relationship. අපේ මේ අනේ අපේ යාළු ඒ යාළු හින්දා මේක ගෙවන්න එපා පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න එහෙම කියලා කියන්න බෑ. එහෙම කරන බැංකුත් තියෙනවා. එහෙම ඉන්න බෑ. First demand you have to pay. We have nothing to do with the goods or services under the guarantee. right? ඒකම අපි කියන්නේ independence කියලා. ඒක තේරෙන්නේ නැති කට්ටිය ඉන්නවනේ කවුද හරි මට කියන්න. මෙතෙන්ට එනකන් ක්ලියර් නැති කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවනේ. මොකද එතනින් එහාට අපිට යන්න වෙනවා. එනකොට පොඩ මේක ෂුවර් තේරෙන්නේ නැත්නම් අහන්න. Sure, right, okay, fine. Normally in bank guarantees, it is the instrument covering the transaction, but the payment will be effected only when there's a default. Only when there's a default. If everything went on perfectly, then at the end of the period, guarantee will get cancelled. Right? If you open a LC, we will pay the beneficiary. We will pay the beneficiary if they comply with the terms and conditions of the LC. If they comply, the method then if they do not comply. If they do not comply, right? If they comply, there's no issue. If they do not comply, then we will call on the guarantee, right? The standby letter of credit is also falls under this category, bank guarantees. Make Mahudata will discuss kala standby letter of credit, right? ISP 98 එකෙන් කොහොමද වෙන්නේ? ඒකයි මේ තියෙන්නේ මොන countries වලද ඕනේ? ඒ ඔක්කොම අපි කතා කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒකනේ මම කිව්වේ අර standby letter of credit කියනකොට it is the performance wise bank guarantees and standby letter of credit are equal. දෙකම එකයි. Right? Okay. Guarantee on first demand. Very important. Guarantee on first demand are widely used in international trade and local trade. Right? First demand we have to pay. Make a kal ganda bag, kal bananda bag. They are payable on first demand. And the bank cannot and have no right whatsoever to refuse or postpone the payment. Right? The bank is obliged to pay the beneficiary on first demand after having examined the provisions of the guarantee, its validity, etc. Types of guarantee. There are two types of guarantee in guarantee market. One is direct guarantee, other one is indirect guarantee. One is direct guarantee, other one is indirect guarantee. First we will see what is a direct guarantee. We have the applicant, and he is going to have a contract with the beneficiary, the seller, right? So in a scenario like that, the applicant will go to his bank and request them to issue a bank guarantee, right? He goes to the issuing bank and we tell them, okay, I want to open a bank guarantee. එතකොට may issuing bank, everything guarantor. What they will do is they will issue the guarantee direct to beneficiary. Direct to beneficiary. Right? Make a hundred older again. Are there one of questions still there? Right, okay. Then there's another type of direct guarantees. We have between the applicant and the beneficiary, we have the contract. And then the applicant goes to his bank and requests to issue a bank guarantee, the issuing bank or guarantor. Then the previous one, guarantor, will immediately issue a guarantee favoring favoring the beneficiary. Favoring the beneficiary. Right? So beneficiary will get the guarantee from the issuing bank. Issuing bank is not the beneficiary's bank, it's some other bank. Right? For example, අපි මේක උදාහරණයක් ගමු. Contracting in a kinno එයාගේ accounts තියෙන Bank of Islam. So he goes to the Bank of Islam and requests for a guarantee, and Bank of Islam will issue the guarantee and advise the beneficiary. සමහර වෙලාවට the beneficiary wants to have the bank wants to have the guarantee from his own bank, rather than getting from unknown issuing bank. Right? In a scenario like that, what they will do is they will issue guarantees to the advising bank. Very bank advising bank. Advising bank කියන්නේ අර මේ අපේ UCP 600 එක advising bank එකක් වගේ තමයි. They don't take any responsibility on their part, but they act as a post office and they advise the guarantee to the authenticate the message and advise the guarantee to the beneficiary. Okay? Very simple. තව එකක් තියෙනවා indirect guarantee. Indirect guarantee එකක් කොහොමද වෙන්නේ? Between the applicant and the beneficiary, you get the contract. Right? So the applicant will go to his bank. Now we call it a counter guarantor. Counter guarantor. Right? එයාට කියනවා right guarantee එකක් issue කරන්න කියලා. මේ වෙන රටක. Then he will issue a counter guarantee to the beneficiary's bank. And they will issue the guarantee to the beneficiary. So in this case, the beneficiary is getting the guarantee. Beneficiary is getting the guarantee from one of his banks domiciled in Sri Lanka. Right? අපි example එකක් කරන්න බලමු. North power plant එකම ගන්නකො. North power plant එකම. මම උගලගේ පැත්තේ කොහොමද දන්නේ මේ unbelievable රස්නයක් තියෙනවා. විස ගන්න බෑ. Sweating. මොකද අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන් ලේසිම මේක. නොරොච්චුල පවර් ප්ලාන්ට් එක ගන්න. නොරොච්චුල පවර් ප්ලාන්ට් එක. right? එහෙම නැත්නම් කැන්ඩි හයිවේ. මේ දවස්වල හදනවනේ කැන්ඩි හයිවේ. නොරොච්චුල පවර් ප්ලාන්ට් එකේ කවුද සප්ලයි කළේ? Who are the suppliers? Power plant එකේ. The country? The country who supplies the නොරොච්චුල power plant?
China.
China. Very good. China. එතකොට කවුද who is the beneficiary? Who is the beneficiary?
Sri Lanka.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා මොකද ඉන්ස්ටිටියුෂන් එක?
Road Development Authority.
road right. road development authority පුතේ මේ RD එක තමයි මේ highway එක. හරි. නොරොච්චුලේ නොරොච්චුල power plant එක කවුද beneficiary?
Electricity board.
Electricity board. CB. CB is the beneficiary. එයාටනේ එයා වෙනුවෙන් හදන්නේ. right? එයා දාපු tender එකට අරගෙන තමයි හදන්නේ. right? So the applicant will go to his bank in China. ගොඩක් ලාට ඔය දෙකේම මම දන්නවා guarantee issue කරලා තියෙන්නේ Exim Bank, EXIM Bank. Exim Bank in China. Exim Bank එක Exim Bank කියන්නේ export import bank in China. Exim Bank එකේ ගිහිලා කියනවා like you issue a counter guarantee. They issue the counter guarantee to the CB bankers. CB bankers ලා ඉල්ලා ගොඩක් ලාට People's Bank. Main bankers ලා ඉන්නේ People's Bank. So they issue the counter guarantee to People's Bank. People's Bank එක issue කළාම People's Bank will keep that counter guarantee as the collateral, and they will keep that counter guarantee as the collateral and then issue the guarantee to the beneficiary, CB. In this case, CB is getting the guarantee, bank guarantee from People's Bank, not from Exim Bank. Exim Bank එකේ counter guarantee එක උඩ තමයි People's Bank එක issue කරන්නේ. So CB will be very happy and they are comfortable because they have got a guarantee from their own bank, and on top of that who are domiciled in Sri Lanka. Domiciled in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka වල පදිංචි මේ කම්පැනි. අපිට තව මොනවද වෙන බලන්න දෙයක් නෑනේ. right? Then the beneficiary is very happy. ඒකයි indirect guarantee එකේ තියෙන importance එක. guarantee එක issue කරන්නේ අපේ රටේ bank එකක් based on the counter guarantee issued by the counter guarantor. Right? Okay. Any questions on that? Any questions on that? මොකද මේවා හරියට ගත්තට පස්සේ අපිට ඉතුරු ටික ස්ටෝරීස් වලින් යන්න පුළුවන්. right? ඊට පස්සේ අපිට ඉතුරු ටික ස්ටෝරීස් වලින් යන්න පුළුවන්. Then we will see how we are going to claim under the indirect guarantee. How we are going to claim under the indirect guarantee. Indirect guarantee के claim में issue करना है नहीं, मना आपको यहाँ को आने. Indirect guarantee के लिए. Right, make a claim में account को लगाना claim में beneficiary will claim from the guarantor, issuing bank, and domicile in the same country. Issue make guarantee के claim में आवाना tag डाला बिना नंबर ने pay कर लेता हूँ. Right? indirect guarantee ki ඊට වඩා වෙනස් වෙනවා. Claim under indirect guarantee. Beneficiary will send his claim to the guarantor. Guarantor is a bank, right? Guarantor is a bank. Then the guarantor will send the claim payment against counter guarantee. So, counter guarantor of the Exim Bank, Exim Bank has issued the guarantee. Exim Bank has issued. So if there's any claim, first the claim should go to their own bank in their domicile in their country, and then they will inform the counter guarantor. They will inform the counter guarantor. Therefore, dosing the king will know. They will debit the applicant's account and then pay. They will debit the applicant account and pay the counter guarantor. So the counter guarantor will ask the counter guarantor will tell the guarantor or the bank who has issued the guarantee, okay, no problem, you better pay. You better pay. Right? Right. Now we'll see what are the security for a bank. I'm making it a wedding karane. Maudana branches in the Katina, Bank of Scotland, People's Bank. Branches in Lamai, what a killer in a Katagan. Branch operations can be. Okko departments are any. Branches in the Katina, on the Kivane. Katangana. කෙනෙක් දෙන්නේ කතා කරනකොට මට මේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් දෙයක් අහන්න ඕන. මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ නෙමෙයි. ඔයගොල්ලෝ කරනවද නැද්ද කියන ප්‍රශ්නේ. Right? කවුරු කතා කරන්නේ නැද්ද?
Sir, I am attached to branch, but I don't handle foreign operations.
Yeah, what's the bank for the?
Commercial bank.
Commercial bank. Which branch you are working?
Chunnakam.
Chunnakam. Right. But whenever a customer wants to have a bank guarantee, will they come to the bank?
Which bank guarantee, sir?
Okay, if you say for some project or whatever, a bank guarantee.
They come to banks.
Yeah, they come to the bank. When they come to the bank, then you will go through the application, and then if you are not issuing, you will forward it to your trade finance department.
Yeah.
And the trade finance department will issue the guarantee and forward the guarantee to your printers to get it printed. Then your manager and your officers will sign the guarantee and give it to the customer. This is how it is happening, no?
Yes.
Exactly, it is how it is happening, right? So when we issue a guarantee, and if the applicant doesn't fulfill his obligations, then definitely there will be a claim. Definitely there will be a claim. Emanang api hunda nantega balala අපි දැන් පොඩ්ඩක් ඉගෙන ගමු කොහොමද අපිට මේවේ අපිට ඉෂුව කරන්න පුළුවන්ද අපිට සිකියුරිටි ඕනද කියලා. මොකද ගැරන්ටි එකක් නම් LC එකක් වගේත් නෙමෙයි. කොච්චර හොඳ කස්ටමර් කෙනෙක් වුණත් අපි නිල් මාජින් නම් දෙන්නේ නැහැ. නිල් මාජින් දෙනවා කියන්නේ ලොකු ඉෂුව එකක්. අපි මාජින් එකක් තියාගෙන දෙන්නේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් we'll ask them to keep sufficient collateral. And once they submit the sufficient collateral only, we will issue the guarantee.
Yes.
Even if අපි වෙන්නේ.
Yes.
Yeah. There, then, because the reason is the guarantee constitute a major credit risk. It's a major credit risk because if something goes wrong, there's a claim. When there's a claim, you have to pay. On first demand, you have to pay. Then here pay කරනකොට මේ අපි guarantee issue කරලා තියෙන කිසිම security එකක් නැතුව නම් can you tell the beneficiary, I'm sorry, there's no money in the account and I will tell them to deposit money, 20 million rupees, I will ask them to deposit tomorrow. කවදාකවත් වෙනවද?
No, we can't do like that.
You can't do like that, right? So before you issue the guarantee, you have to ensure that you are keeping sufficient security, right? Because it's a major credit risk. And not only normal security, very strong security. Generally, marketable securities are preferred. Generally, marketable securities are preferred. Fixed deposits under lien, අපි තියාගන්නවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් cash cover කියන්නේ මේ margin එකක් වගේ තියාගන්නවා. ඒ වගේ අපිට තියන්න පුළුවන්. However, the integrity of the principal plays a major role in determining the risk involved. Also, the business reputation of the applicant, in addition to the experience and competencies. The bank may issue guarantee in high risk situation, provided such guarantees are covered by 100% cash security. Right? Provided such guarantees are covered by 100% cash security. Okay. Types of security for a bank guarantee. We can ask for third-party guarantees. Counter guarantee. Third-party guarantees. Right? Then cash margin, cash build-ups. What do you mean by cash build-ups?
Monthly lien transfer that covering the margin which is not secured yet.
Yes, monthly. We are
Lien transfer.
Yeah, we are building up the backup margin. Building up a backup margin, right? Right. Shares, you can keep it. Then surrender value of life policies. Good security. If something goes wrong, the worst case scenario, what can happen to a person? He may die. If he die, if the insurance policy, if the bank can get an assignment of the insurance policy, then that's a good security. First, they will settle the bank, right? Assignments over underlying contract. Mortgage over immovable property. Mortgage over immovable property. Okay. Now we will see what are the most frequently used guarantees in international trade. Right? මේක හොඳට කියව ගන්න. හොඳට කියව ගන්න. One is bid bonds. Another name for bid bonds is tender guarantees and performance guarantees, advance payment guarantees. Right? Then retention bonds, retention guarantees, custom guarantees issued by DGC, Director General of Customs, Director General of Customs. Other types of guarantees, overdrafts or loan guarantees, financial guarantees, counter guarantees, right?
Sir, can you explain what is counter guarantees?
Counter guarantee is, can you remember Norachole power plant or can be highway? The contractor is from China. Contractor is from China, right? So definitely RDA or Lex report will ask for a guarantee, but they prefer to have the guarantee from their own bank, domicile in their own country, right? The bank get in the bank can't open the or issue the guarantee without a security. So they, in return, the beneficiary, the contractor, he will contact his bank in his country, China, Exim Bank, and ask them to issue a counter guarantee. Counter guarantee is like a counter indemnity. They indemnify the actions of the issuing bank. Right? Issuing bank again, Sri Lankan banking. Sri Lankan bank. Issue guarantee. A counter guarantee is a good security. Counter guarantee is a good security. What are the questions here? Counter guarantee is a type of security. Then we'll go one by one. Before that, standby LCs. Standby LCs are also we treat it as guarantees, bank guarantees. Because in some countries like USA and all, they will not entertain any bank guarantees. It is against their law. There's no provision to accept bank guarantees, right? So they have to issue standby letter of credit. Functionality same. The only difference is we will pay only if those people have not fulfilled their obligation. If they have fulfilled their obligations, then it will be settled under if they fulfill their obligations, then there won't be any claims. On the expiry date, it will get cancelled, null and void. Right? Null and void. The standby letter of credit is important, functionality එකමයි වෙන්නේ. ඔක bank guarantee එකට ඔක දාලා ඉවරයි ඉවරයි. Right? දැන් අපි දැන් bank guarantee එකක් ගන්නකොට bank guarantee එක වෙනුවට standby letter of credit එකක් එනවා නම් ඒ ඇති. Because both are credit instruments and functionally equal. In some countries, these things are not entertained by their law. That's the only reason.
Sir,
Yeah.
Sir, how to determine that breach of obligations by the guarantor bank?
Breach of obligations by the guarantor.
Yes, when it comes to that of execution, so how that measurement comes from guarantor?
Good question. I'm going to tackle that part. If you can hold on to the thing, if I have not covered, then you better ask that question again before I complete the session, right? Because I'm going to discuss that under demands, how it is happening, right? What's your name, Pudha?
I am Piyushan.
Huh?
My name is Piyushan.
Dishan. Right, Mama?
Piyushan.
Can you spell it?
Piushan.
P-I-U,
Shan.
Piyushan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Piyushan. නැත්තම් මම පීෂන්ගෙන් අහන්නම් ඔයාගේ මේ ප්‍රශ්නට උත්තරය අවඩ have you got the answer, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Once I finish this, right? Now, from now onwards, I'm not going to go through the handout. Handout is there. You can read it, right? I will try to explain in a simple manner, right? So we talk about the types of guarantees: bid bonds, performance guarantees, advance payment, retention, custom guarantees, then overdrafts or loan guarantees, financial guarantees or counter guarantees, right? Standby letter of credit also the same thing. Only thing, instead of guarantees, we issue LCs, right? Okay. Now, we'll take a example. Bid bonds. Example like AC, right? This is also known as tender guarantees. Tender guarantees. Tender guarantees like this is the one commonly used in tender operations, right? What is tendering? What is tendering? If somebody wants to import something, right, to buy something in big amounts, then the particular company or the institution, they will call tenders. They will call tenders. Tenders නැත්නම් යන්නේ අර ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ හිතවත්කම් වලට they will give the job to have more transparency. They said no, we'll have to call tenders and the people have to submit their tenders, and then we will decide who is the most suitable party, right? Then එහෙම තියෙනකොට අපි දන්නවා අපි මම ගමු example එකට CWE මේ දැන් කාලේ වෙනේවා CWE එකට ඕනේ වෙනවා ඩාල් ගේන්න මයිසුර් ඩාල් ගේන්න CW එකට ඕන නම් CW එකෙන් කරන්නේ ගොඩක් ලාට CW එක ඕපන් කරන්නේ නැහැ ඇක්සස්, right? CW එක කරන වැඩේ ඒගොල්ලෝ local market එකට කියනවා right මෙන්න tender එකක් තියෙනවා to import dal. So we are calling the bids. Bids means tenders, right? So you can submit your tender. If the for example, only assumptions, 1 ton of dal is equals to $100. කියලා අපි හිතමු. එච්චර ලාභයට හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ. අපි හිතමු. right? එතකොට $100 කියලා අපි හිතමු. එතන $100 now. 1 ton is equals to $100. Then මිනිස්සුන්ට කියනවා bid කරන්න කියලා. ඒක තමයි දැන්ට world market එකේ යන්නේ price එක. ඉතින් මිනිස්සු bid කරනවා. දැන් ඔන්න අපි හිතමු 6 දෙනෙක් bid කරා කියලා. If you have your notebooks, can you jot down one below the other. A, B, C, D, E, F, one below the other, A, B, C, D, E, F. Right? Against A, you can mention there are 6 companies, A, B, C, D, E, F companies. A company A, they have what do you call this? They have submit their bid for the tender as $99. So against A, you put 99. Then B also tendering. So they have tendered 98.5. 98.5. Right? That is their bid. C, 103. 103 C. D, 85. D, 85. A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, then E. E දාන්න අපි හිතමු 98 කියලා 98 කලින් ගියාද එක්කෙනෙක් මම නිකන් ඔළුවෙන් කියන්නේ 98 මම කලින් කිව්වද නෑනේ 98 කලින් කිව්වද නෑනේ
No, sir.
නෑ
98.5.
98.5 නේ කිව්වේ 98 දාන්න
Yes.
98 දාන්න එතකොට A, B, C, D, E, F එකට දාන්න 99 අරක 99.5 නේද ආවේ ඉස්ලා එක 99 ද මං කිව්වේ
A is 99.
99 99.5 දාන්න 99.5
So can you repeat all the value again? Can you repeat all the values?
I will repeat. You people have to support me because I have not written anywhere. A, if I am correct, is 99. B is, can somebody help me?
98.5.
98.5. Then C,
103.
90.
103.
Then C 103. Very good. C 103. D 980 and D manku 85. Right?
85.
Oh, D 85. D 85. D 85. E
98.
98 and F 99.5. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Have you got the figures again? Okay. Right. Now, these are the tenders. Petawalin merchants, those Peta people have put their bids. So with every bid, when you are bidding, right? The bankers, they know you have to submit your bids with a bid bond. When you are sending your bids, it has to be supported by a bid bond, bid guarantee. Normally, these bid guarantees are 2% to 5% of your offer, right?
Contract value.
2% to 5% of your offer, right? If your offer is 100, then 2% of that. right? මේ අපි මේ 1 ton වලටනේ 100 කියලා කිව්වේ. නමුත් අපි මේ ගේන්න යන්නේ 100,000 tons. Oh, sorry, 50,000 tons. 50,000 tons of දාලා තමයි ගේන්න යන්නේ. ඒක වැඩි කරලා අපි අපේ සම්පූර්ණ tender value එකකින් අපි 2% we have to submit a bond. We have to submit a bond, bid bond. බැංකුවට ඇවිල්ලා කියන්නේ bid bond එකක් දෙන්න කියලා කියන්නේ ඒ amount එකට. ඒක tender to tender that will differ. Some people will ask you to submit 5% of the tender bond. As a tender bond එකක් දෙන්න කියනවා 5% එක. මේකේ. සමහර අය කියනවා 2% කියලා. So the average is between 2 to 5. ඒ ගන්න තමයි යන්නේ. දැන් උතර bids උත් එක දැන් දුන්නා. දුන්නාම then tender board will meet and decide who has submitted the best tender. Then according to the, okay, if you think if you are in the tender board, which tender of the which company you will select? Which company you will select?
Company C.
Company C.
Yeah.
Company C is 103.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they asked the amount higher than 100.
Higher than 100. 100 is the average world market. In the world market, average dal 100. Can somebody hello? Can you mute your phones or other equipments? I will disturb now. Right. The average price is 100. Average price is 100. Even the 103 youth, you are going to get dal for more than the world market price. එහෙම කරන්නේ පුතේ මේ අර පගා ගහන ඇමතිලගේ ඒවා තමයි කරන්නේ නැත්තේ. ඕක තමයි වෙනවත් ඇති. ඔයා ඒක දැනගෙන කිව්වත් දන්නේ නැහැ. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඒක යන්නේ පගා ගහන ඇමතිලගේ මන්ත්‍රීලගේ ඒවා තමයි යන්නේ ඔය. The market price එකට වැඩියෙන් ගෙවන්න අපි ගෙනාවොත් then the consumer has to pay more. Our dollar price will go up, ne? අපිට ගන්න ඕනේ bid එකක් වෙන්න ඕනේ the lowest and the good one. Lowest and the good one. Right? එහෙමනම් අපි මොකද decide කරන්නේ? දැන් ඔතන තියෙන figures ටික මම දැම්මෙත් එක purpose එකක් උඩ. මොකක් ඒව ළඟ යන්නේ. දැන් කොයි එකද ඔයගොල්ලෝ තෝරගන්නේ? C එක නෙමෙයි. C එක නම් අපි C එක තෝරගන්නෙම නැහැ. ඒක out. C is out. C is much expensive than the world market price. එන අර ඇමතුමාටත් ගානක් තියලා තමයි C එක දාලා තියෙන්නේ. Right? දැන් පොඩ්ඩකට ඉස්සෙල්ලා මම දැන් පැයකට කලින් මම when I was having my lunch, I was watching the TV. News බල හිටියා පාර්ලිමේන්තු එකේ මේ වගේම කේස් එකක් තමයි කෑගහා යන්නේ. bids අඩුවට තියෙද්දි වැඩිම bid එකට දීලා හොඳටම වැඩියට දීලා ඇමතුමාට මිලියන 100ක්ද කොහෙද එයාගේ පර්ස් එකට දාගන්න. නේ? ඒ වගේ කේසස් එනවා. right දැන් කියන්න බලන්න මට කොයි එකද ඔයගොල්ලෝ තෝරගන්නේ? If you are going to be in the purchasing board එකේ tender board එකේ ඉන්නවා නම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ tender එක හදලා ඔයගොල්ලෝ select කරන්න කොයි එකද? A B C D E F එකේ. C is out. Huh?
For the price concern, it is D is better. But however, that we need to consider that quality also, because E is better for, as my opinion.
Is that Pushan?
Yes, sir.
Pushan, I didn't want to explain anything to the students. Pushan gave the very correct answer. Excellent. Very correct answer. Because price-wise, D, 85. But when you see Mysore dal, right? If you go to Cargill's, Keel's, or Apico, you get very neat, clean, polished dal. If you go to CWA, CWK, dal with black seeds, full of black seeds. So that is not the good quality, right? Good quality but we want to give the good quality. In that case, what is the one? Give me the price you are going to select. My quality can add
98 for E.
98 for
When the E.
yeah, 98 for E. Either one then for the price is 98. Because 98, 98.5, then 99, 99.5, 103 and 85. එහෙමනේ ආවේ. ඒකෙන් අපිට 98 is the best offer you can choose, because that is not beyond the margins, right? So obviously that must be good quality and the cheapest, right? And where 10-day bonds වල ගොඩාක් ඒවා ඔය යන්නේ 50 rupees, 100 rupees, 200 rupees, ඒක තමයි difference එක එන්නේ. මම උතරම දන්නවා මොකද I have worked in a company, electrical company එකක I worked in that company as a consultant. All is a big mafia in this industry. Everybody, they bribe the other rivals and get the last moment, they get the bids of the rival companies. So PNs laging, Arabalang, American Gadno. Repair Pandar, Dahadar, 10,000, 15,000 Nagaman, Arabinagana, Sir, Apegana, make Tagal, Apitala, Pudda Kadugala Dada. Correct? And name of the Mayandi. It will be 98 days later. Okay, fine. Right? Now you so, but all those people, A, B, C, D, E, and F, they have submitted their bid bonds. So, bid bonds they have submitted. Up to 2% get 2% bid bonds. Now, once we select E, right, then we will say, okay, now we are going to grant the tender, right, to E, company E. So company E, we will ask these people, okay, now you have been selected as the winner. Now you are supposed to import 50,000 tons of dal of that particular quality for the price of $98 per ton. Right? Then you will ask that guy E, now you have to submit a performance bond. Now you have to submit a performance bond. Right? Now, performance bond is another bond. You have to get it from the guarantor or the bank, giving an undertaking. Okay, this guy is going to perform this job, right? So we are going to guarantee his performance. We are going to guarantee his performance, right? Normally, the usual range, usually the performance bonds, the percentage will range from 5 to 10 or 15. 5 to 10 or 15% of the contract value, right? Now we have already given 2%. Forget about it. ඒකට හරියන්න දැන් මේ 15% තියන්න කිව්වොත් 13% වලට තියන්න බෑ අර අතර 2% තියෙනවා කියලා. ඒක බෑ. Performance bond is 15%. If the company, if the beneficiary says your bond should be for 15% of the contract value, you have to submit the this thing for 15%. එයාලා submit කරලා. Submit කරාට පස්සේ මොකද වෙන්නේ? Then the CWV or the beneficiary, they will return the bid bond. They will keep the performance bond with them and return the bid bond to the party. And in the same time, they will return all the other 5 bid bonds also to the respective parties. You got it? Till then, the bonds are outstanding. Once they cancelled and returned the bonds, then the parties will, then the applicants will take those cancelled bonds to their respective banks and ask them to cancel the guarantee and return the security. In most cases, bid bonds වල security තියන්න එනවා, margins යන්න එනවා. ඒතර margins ටික අපි එතකොට එකකින් under lien තියනවා නම් ඒ lien එක අයින් කරලා දාගන්නවා. Right? එහෙම නැත්නම් සමහර ලොකු companies තියෙනවා, they keep a big collateral, ලොකු property එකක්ම තියලා 10-15 acres of land or property එකක් තියලා they set up a limit, guarantee limit. Bid bonds are together, performance bonds are together, all types, they will have a guarantee facility. Comare can security එකක් තියෙනවා. Right? Okay. Now what is the situation? Now you have been informed that you have been selected. Okay, they request you to submit a performance bond, but at this particular point, you fail to submit the performance bond. You fail to submit the performance bond. අපි හිතුවේ නෑ මම මට එයි කියලා. නිකන් ඔය දාලා බැලුවා. ඒ කියලා හිතුවේ නෑ. දැන් මොකද කරන්නේ? Now what is the situation? Because you can't get the performance bond also from your bank because when they ask you to keep collateral, you don't have sufficient collateral. Now what is going to happen? Kianaban?
Beneficiary can,
will decline.
Huh?
beneficiary can be able to execute that bid bond.
Beneficiary will not
Can be able to
Yes. A beneficiary. Beneficiary has the right to take action against the bid bond, right?
yes.
Under the bid bond, they will not return the bid bond to the party. The party නේද දෙන්නේ. Party නේද දෙන්නේ. ඒතර party එකට අපි return කරන්නේ නැහැ. And we keep that money 2% with the beneficiary. We will demand on that money and we will keep that money against the bid, right? එහෙම වුණොත් අනිත්‍යගේවත් ටක් ගාලා අපිට මේගොල්ලෝ දුන්නට පස්සේ තමයි අපි රිටර්න් කරන්නේ. එහෙම වුණොත් අපිට ඊගාට පුළුවන් the next available the best guy we can select and give them the offer. 98 නේ අපිට 98 නේ තියෙන්නේ 98.5 වලටත් එකක් තිබ්බනේ. දැන් 98.5 එකට අපි කියනවා right, we have selected you, can you submit the performance bond of 15%, right? එතකොට එයා තිබ්බොත් එහෙම එයාගේ සල්ලි ආපහු රිටර්න් කරලා except for the guy E එයාගේ සල්ලි කෙලින්ම freeze කළා, අනිත් ඔක්කොම ඒවා රිටර්න් කරලා cancel කළා, right? ඒකයි මේ bid එකේදී හරි important that every Tom, Dick and Harry can't do bidding. It has to be a person who are having sufficient cover, margins, money. Then only they can do the research, right? Okay. Now he has submitted the performance bond. Now they are ready. What they will do now? Then on the D takina, E takina, okay, now you can do the imports. To have the imports, you have to open LCs. You have to open LCs. To open LCs, you have to keep a margin or security, right? Now they have a LC limit, but they need some money to keep as margin or something. Then the party E, who have won the contract, they will tell their bank to issue a advance payment guarantee. They will ask their bank to issue an advance payment guarantee. ගොඩක් construction field එකේ මේක වෙනවා. Construction field එකේ මේක වෙනවා. මම ගොඩාක් ඉන්වෝල්ලා මේක කරලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට advance payment guarantee එකක් issue කරන්න කියලා කිව්වහම normally it is about 15 to 20%. අපි 30% advance එකක් ගන්නවා නම් ඒ 30% විතරගේ ගන්න amount එක හැටියට අපි advance payment guarantee එකක් issue කරනවා. So you have to have collateral to issue that. Then you ask the beneficiary, the CWE, to advance you some money. ඔයාගේ full contract value එකෙන් CWE එකෙන් කියනවා අපි ඉල්ලනවා මට මේකට 25% advance එකක් දෙන්න. 25% advance එකක් දෙන්නේ කොහොම? ඒගොල්ලෝ කියනවා right, then you submit the advance payment guarantee. So once you submit the advance payment guarantee, they will release you 25% of the value, where you can keep that money in a bank under lien or something and open the LC right? The advance payment guarantees are important. Two projects advance payment නැතුව යන්න බෑ. අපේ සල්ලි වලින් යන්නේ නෑනේ. ඒගොල්ලෝ stage by stage යනවා, right? Progressive performance. Guarantee should explicitly stipulate that it does not take effect until the advance payment has been received, right? And the advance payment එක ආවට පස්සේ තමයි මේක contract එක පටන් ගන්නෙ. දෙකන්නේ, right? Then retention guarantee and warranty bonds. Retention guarantee is another important thing. Now, once you complete the job, you have taken some stage advances, stage by stage. Once you finish a particular stage, then you will get some advance or payment. Project if you say නොරොච්චෝලේ project එකම ඉවරයි. කරලා තියෙද්දි there's normally the beneficiary will keep about 10% of the entire contract value. 10% of the entire contract value. They keep it as a retention, as a warranty, right? ඒක අපි issue කරන්නේ නැහැ. එතකොට මේගොල්ලෝ කියනවා බැංක් එකකින් තව එකක් ගන්නවා retention guarantee එකක් ගන්නවා. බැංක් එකකින් ඉල්ලනවා බැංක් එක දෙනවා guarantee එකක් okay. Please release the entire amount to the party E, right? And we undertake that we will settle all the outstandings under the retention guarantee. Can you remember about 4 months back, Norachole power plant, we had a major breakdown. We had to get down these people from China to the company who installed this power plant. We asked them to come and fix it. Right? After 1 year, 2 year retention period because they came during the retention period. During the warranty period, they have come and they have attended to all the things without charging. Charges job back. Otherwise, they are going to lose their retention guarantee, which we are holding. Right? The retention make it important. And the very well the pay කරන්න උනොත් එහෙම they tend to be payable on first demand, right? Is it clear for you the bid bonds, performance bond? Then we call the other one advance payment bond, then retention guarantee, right? And retention guarantee, right? There's another type of guarantees. We call it custom guarantees. Custom guarantees are contractors often need to import equipment temporarily to carry out the contract, right? But especially when it's containerized cargo and all, normally what the customs what they do, they release the container, keeping a custom guarantee for import duty. They take the container to their warehouse. Then another custom guy from customs department will go there, assessor, and then they will open the container, and then only from there only they check. Right? Check kare okkoma evelema clear kala down. Right? හැබැයි custom duty charge කරන්නේ අන්නේ portion එකකින්. එතකන් harbor එකේදී port එකේදී custom duty ගන්නෙ නැහැ. Right? They allow them to take the containers out, keeping a custom guarantee. the custom guarantee, the practical issue is a little bit complicated because customs department, not like any other bank guarantee, after the expiry, it's a law, after the expiry, the contract is null and void after the expiry. But the customs says, no. Until we release the original guarantee, you can't cancel the liability under that particular guarantee. Right? Very important case. Good up banks, happy Hari Akamati, may custom guarantees issue karana, customs guarantee issue karana, Eguluma Mother expiry cancel karana then. Anitya cancel karanati. Eke expiry cancel karana ban. Because who governs everything? Customs. Right? Take in the Hari Kartha. Ekama the issue kalatila. If there's a malpractice or something, Kilima Customs will blacklist you. After that, they will not entertain your guarantees. Right? The same thing happened to me when I came back to Sri Lanka after 10 years overseas employment. I got my container load of my personal goods, effects, cleared by custom guarantee. Custom guarantee, it was a customs thing. They opened the thing and then they checked everything and they said, okay, with your free allowance, the quota I was having, that was more than enough. You don't have to pay a cent. But earlier, my bank was, I never had an account with my bank, HNB. HNB, I didn't have any accounts at that time. They said, we accept only HNB custom guarantees. Because they were doing the custom guarantees in a proper manner, unlike the other banks. If the banks try to play out, the customs will blacklist the banks. They can the customs guarantees are removed. Financial guarantees, overdrafts or loan guarantees. Now, make up my expense my making example. Okay, I told you that I have worked overseas for about 10 years. So whatever the money I have.
Hello. Excuse sir.
Yeah.
Sir, දැන් එතකොට මේ කස්ටම් එකෙන් අපි දැන් මේ බැංක් ගැරන්ටි අයින් කරගන්න ඕන කස්ටම් බැංක් ගැරන්ටි එක. එතකොට අපි මොනවද දෙන්න ඕනේ මේ බැංක් එකට? නැත්නම් බැංක් කස්ටම් එකෙන් දෙනවද බොස් මේ සර් අපිට මේ රිලීස් ડોකියුමන්ට් එකක් මොකක් කරි?
The custom guarantee කියන්නේ expiry date එකෙන් පස්සේ මාස ගණන් ගිහිල්ලා ලියුම් 50ක් විතර ලියුවට පස්සේ තමයි අර yes කියලා එවන්නේ. ඒක තමයි අපි හරියම අකමැති custom guarantee issue කරගන්න. ඕනම බැංක් එකක් බලන custom guarantee හරියම problematic. Right? According to the law, after the expiry date, its contract is null and void, but not with customs. If we are going to argue the customs, this is wrong. What you are doing is like a dictator. You can't do like this. They will blacklist the bank. After that, my customers had to go to some other banks to get custom guarantee. මගේ customer කෙනෙක් වාගේ බැංකුවට මම කතා කළ පුතාගේ බැංකුවට පුතාගේ කොහෙද බැංක් එක?
Nation Trust එක sir.
Nation Trust එක. අපි හිතමු chartered bank එකේ ඉඳන් Nation Trust එකට මගේ customer ගියොත් එහෙම දැන් මාව chartered bank එක blacklist කරලානේ. ඔයා Nation Trust ගියොත් එහෙම ඊට පස්සේ මගේ customer ආපු SCB එනවද? Nation Trust will make sure that he will never go back to Standard Chartered. ඒක නේද වෙන්නේ?
ඔව් sir.
ඒක තමයි වෙන්නේ. ඔයා දලා ගන්නවා. I මේක ආපහු Chartered Bank යන්නේ නැහැ. Okay sir, you come. Chartered Bank is a lousy bank sir. Don't go to those banks. Yeah, අපි ඔහොමද කියන්නේ? So don't go to Ceylon sir. You come to us. We will help you. අර මිනිහා ඉවරයි. එතනින් එහාට ඉවරයි. ඉතින් ඒකින්ද අපි මේ සෙල්ලම් දාන්න කැමති නැහැ. නඩු දාගන්න ගියොත් එහෙම අපිව බ්ලැක් ලිස්ට් කළොත් අපේ කස්ටමර්ස්ලා එකාට එක අන්තිමේදී යනවා. අපි ඉන්නේ ඔක්කොම ඉම්පෝර්ට් එක්ස්පෝර්ට් කරන කට්ටිය. වැඩේක් ඉන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒකින්ද කෝපරේට් කස්ටමර්ස්ලා යනවා. ඉතින් හරි පරිස්සම් වෙන්න ඕන කස්ටම් ගැරන්ටි. මම සමහර ඒවා තියෙනවා මම කතාරන්න බෑ මේවා රෙකෝඩ් වෙන හින්දා නැත්නම් හරි ඉන්ටරෙස්ටිං කේසස් තියෙනවා my experiences right a customer තාම ඉන්නවා is the company is also existing, customer is also living, but we think not we think he says that he is having superpowers. Super එකක් තියෙනවා එයාට. අපි තුන්නාරේ බලයක් තියෙනවා එයාට. දෙයියන්ගේ බලයක් මොන විශ්වාස කරන්නේ. But once he had about 10 or 15 guarantees. Custom guarantees outstanding. When I asked the customs, giving them on the entire list to cancel it, they said no, don't do it. Right? Then I told my customs is not allowing. After a few hours, he came to me and he was looking at me. Sir, now you better ask that customer officer whether he is willing to do it. I have some superpowers, Kira. You won't believe. That guy said, yes, you send that letter, we will authorize it. වෙන කාලේ සම්රික මණ්ඩාන හිටියේ එයා වුණත් ඒගොල්ලෝ මෙයාට පුළුවන් කන්ට්‍රෝල් කරන්න කියලා කීටි මම දන්නේ නැහැ. right ඉතින් ඒ වගේ සුපර් පවර්ස් නැත්තම් කස්ටම් ගැරන්ටිස් නම් කැන්සල් කරන්න ලීස් නෑ. Not only that, I think every year April and August, if I am correct, April and August. Now, long time, like some certain things I can't remember. April and August, මේගොල්ලෝ දෙන එක list එකක් කොහොම outstanding ඒවා renew කරන්නේ. ඉතින් ආපහු renew කරන්න දෙනවා තව 6 months වලට. customer ගේ ලේසි වෙන්නේ නැහැ. One of basis again, I mean, these people are continuously having operations under this custom guarantees. Then you go check release karane. Customers are also crooks. That's the main reason, right? So custom guarantee, except for custom guarantee, all the other guarantees will cancel on the expiry date, right? Then the financial guarantees, overdraft or loan guarantees, right? Okay, for example, if I have worked overseas and whatever my salaries and all, without sending to Sri Lanka, I have deposited in foreign countries. Tax haven countries are there, no? Jersey, countries that are no taxes, right? They are tax haven countries. Then you're going to HSBC, Jersey, we can open an account and then keep the money there. දැන් ඇත්තටම දැන් මම මගේ NRC ගෙනාවා දැන් මගේ NRC වලින් දැන් වැඩක් නෑ දැන් ඇත්තටම they're useless because now you can't remit money out, right? Earlier they said this will not all this for exchange control regulations will not apply to this NRC one scheme. ඒව නෑ දැන් tax උත් වෙනවා. ඉතින් ඔහොම වෙනකොට පාඩුවනේ. ඉතින් some people they used to keep the money in some other country. Now you have come back to Sri Lanka for good. Now you want to start a business. When you want to start a business, now you need facilities. You can't go and ask facilities from your HSBC jersey, right? Because you need rupees. You need rupee facilities. And when you go to the bank, your bank in Sri Lanka, they will ask you, okay, we are ready to give you the facilities, sir. What are the security? The first question they will ask you is, what are the security? Security, right? Then what is security? Then because you have come back to Sri Lanka after 20 years or so, right? You will ask them what sort of security. So we need cash collateral. Then cash collateral ගන්න වෙන්න. ආගේ සල්ලි තියන්නේ අර country එකේ. Then you can offer them a financial guarantee from HSBC jersey, right? They will issue a guarantee, a counter guarantee to Bank of Ceylon or People's Bank, where you are having your accounts, right? Or NTB. You're going to issue okay, you grant facilities to Mr. Pereira up to this amount, right? We will guarantee the facilities, overdrafts or loans or whatever facilities, financial facilities to him. They keep that money under lien and then issue the guarantee, right? It's like a counter guarantor. A counter guarantee would NTB Hari Bank of London, they will grant facilities to the Mr. Perra. They don't have to worry anything because that is perfectly all right, like a cash security, right? Okay. If Mr. Perra services facilities, all LC facilities, overdraft facilities, loan facilities, import loans or home facilities taken, yeah, to maintain he services properly. Then until the facility gets cancelled, nothing will happen. You will get interest for your deposit at that time, and this bank is also very happy. But when Mr. Pereira doesn't settle his obligations, then only People's Bank or NTB will call on the guarantee. They will send a demand. Then the first demand, normally these are on demand, first demand, NTB will get the money. So they are happy, right? That HSBC jersey will never say, no, I had to ask my customer, on demand, they will pay, right? So this is issued to support the local lending by a bank in the borrower's country. The lending bank is asked to advance a specific sum of money by loan or overdraft, the repayment of which and sometimes interest is covered in the guarantee, right? Everything is covered. Then factors considered by the issuing bank prior to issuance of guarantee, right? Normally the factors considered by the issuing bank prior to issuance of the guarantee is supplier's performance risk. Supplier's performance risk. right? Whether the supplier is okay. That is KYC of your customer. Your customer is a supplier. Then applicant's credit standing. The supplier is the applicant. His credit standing. Whether he is a good, reliable party. Risk of unfair calling of the bond. Risk of unfair calling of the bond. Again, any party. Risk of unfair calling of the bond can be, there are certain customers, certain parties, they, sorry, not my customer, certain parties, certain beneficiaries, they will just call the bond, asking them to settle the outstanding. Right? මේකෙත් මට උදාහරණ දැන් වල දෙන්න බෑ මාව අදරයට ඇවිල්ලා මාව උස්සගෙනයි මම එහෙම කිව්වයි කියලා. සමහර government organizations තියෙනවා. My God, we are having a time with those people. They just call. Right? ඔය වෙලා තියෙන්නේ අර මිනිහගෙන් ඉල්ලනවා කීයක් හරි ගාණක්. ඒගොල්ලෝ applicant කිව්වොත් එහෙම නෑ සර් මේ ඔක්කොම දැන් දීලා තියෙන්නේ දැන් මම තවත් පාඩේ අර clerk හරි officer manager හරි අර government organization එකේ right authorities වල and then they will okay, if that's the case they said don't worry කියලා කිව්වා. පහුවෙන්දර බැංක් එකට එනවා claim එක. Under this guarantee, we are claiming this money. So then we have only one option. We have to pay. But normally, as a courtesy, we always contact the applicant. Applicant then you are DJ then kila tina applicant you can check with the applicant. But you can't delay it immediately. අද ඉල්ලුවා නම් හෙට අපි සෙටල් කරන්න ඕන. අග්ගල applicant කෝල් කරලා කියනවා. මම ක්ලේම් කරලා ඉන්නවා. ඒක applicant කියනවා no sir don't pay I'm going to visit them and I'll get this thing sorted out කියලා. අග්ගල අර යනවා ගිහිල්ලා මොනවාරි දුන්නා මොනවාරි ගානක් දුන්න ගමන් ඔන්න return එනවා telephone call එකක්. Okay, you don't have to worry about the claim. Right? But is it correct? No. We have got the claim in writing. The withdrawal only by telephone call. අපිට ගන්න බෑ. Right? අපිට ගන්න ඕනේ මේ නේ. ඉතින් අපි කියනවා මෙහෙමයි එහෙම බෑ මේක එවන්න. නෑ ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. අපිනේ ප්‍රශ්නේ හරිම අමාරුයි. හරිම අමාරුයි. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ වෙලාවට අපි කරන්නේ ඔය notes ඔක්කොම දාලා මම නම් කරන්නේ telephone conversations ඔක්කොම මේ කරලා ඒගොල්ලන්ට මේ මගේ පැත්තේ මම ලියුමක් කරනවා as per your telephone conversation on such and day we are withholding the claim. යා එවන්නේ නැත්නම් මම යනවා එහාට. යවලා ඉන්ෆෝම් කරලා තියෙනවා. නැත්නම් අපි වැරදිනවා. ඒ වගේ කස්ටමර්ස් ලට අපි නම් අරින්නේ නැහැ. ඒක අපි ඒගොල්ලන්ව බ්ලැක් ලිස්ට් කරනවා අපේ ඇතුළෙම. Right? If those people are the beneficiaries, I make it a point not to issue any more guarantees favoring those parties. Right? If the bank agrees to issue the bond, it will mark the bond value against the applicant's credit lines. Obviously, that's what we do. Request for a counter indemnity from the applicant. Every guarantee, we have to get the counter indemnity from the applicant, indemnifying the bank. Generally, the charges are on annual fee base on the bond value. Normally, it is 2 to 3% of the bond value. Right? Make a business again. But the claims are doing in it. But you get the good fee income. Make a fee income එකක් right? Fee income එකක් එන්නේ. තව එකක් තියෙනවා. I know you people are maybe managers, assistant managers, officers, right? Be careful and take precautions when you are issuing guarantees to courts. Custom වගේම තමයි. Courts වලට guarantees issue කළාට පස්සේ placing district court එකේ guarantees එක ගන්න නම් හරි අමාරුයි. Cancellations එන්නේ නැහැ. අපි කායකද ආගිය කරන්නේ මේ lawyers ලත් එක්කනේ මේ Attorney General Department එකත් එක්කනේ. දැන් අපිට who are we, right? ඒකද ටිකක් ඒකත් හරියට පරිස්සම් වෙන්න ඕන. ඒවෙත් unfair calling එනවා හිතුව ගමන් because these people cannot understand the URDG and articles and sub-articles and all. So they just call it, right? They kill the courts or issue karne ba odda person. Then demands. Pishange question again, right? Any demand for payment under guarantee shall be in writing, right? Any demand for payment under guarantee shall be in writing. Verbally, we will not pay. Settle. In the event of a demand, the guarantor should inform the applicant or the counter guarantor without any delay. In the event of a demand, the guarantor, an issuing bank, should inform the applicant and the counter guarantor if there's any without any delay. Immediately, either the expeditious manner, right? You have to inform them. Then bonds and guarantees are of two basic types. One is on-demand bonds. On-demand bonds can be called at the sole discretion of the buyer. Sole discretion of the buyer or the beneficiary, without any supporting evidence other than the statement indicating that money is owing. Right? If the buyer or the beneficiary, they will send the demand without any supporting evidence. Right? Just a statement indicating that under this guarantee, blah, 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 we will claim. Right? Then, immediately we'll have to settle. Right? We have to inform the applicant and the counter guarantor and then settle it. At least on the following day, the payments should go. Right? Second, a conditional bond specifies the documentary evidence that must accompany a claim. For the previous one, on-demand one, you don't want any supporting evidences. The second one is a conditional bond. It specifies the documentary evidence that must accompany a claim. What are the documentary evidence? Now, a construction of a building, say construction of a big hotel. අලුතෙන් මේ දවස්වල කොළඹ වල හදන්නේ ඇලෙවිච්ච හොටෙල්ස් හදනවානේ. ඒ වගේ ලොකු හොටෙල් එකකට දැන් තියෙනවා. තියෙනකොට ඒකේ තියෙන conditional. That claim conditional. Conditional කියන්නේ once you complete construction of a building, right? Before you move into that, you have to get a certificate from the either municipality or town council or whatever the institution, right? Even a local authority. The local authority king, you have to get a letter from the local authority. Okay, this is okay. The construction is okay. What is that document we call?
Approved building plan.
No, not the approved building plan. உங்களுக்கு certificate of conformity. Certificate of conformity, COC. හරි ඕන මිනිහෙක් දන්නවා අපේ බැංක් අසල මේ නිකන් පාරේ යන අපේ ලොලු විකුණන මනුස්සයෙක් දෙන්න එයාත් ගියක් හැදුවා COC එකක් ඕන. COC එක දෙන්න අරගොල්ලෝ වගාවක් අරගෙන COC එක දෙන්නේ. right? එතකොට COC එකේ කිව්වොත් එහෙම මේ this is not as per the building plan කියලා, then the entire thing will go for a 6. Right? In a scenario like that, සමහර ඒවා තියෙනවා conditional bonds තියෙනවා. When you are sending the claim, the beneficiary, he has to submit a copy of the COC or the letter. Copy of the COC or letter. The COC ඇවිල්ලා නම් ඒක null and void යනවනේ. එහෙනම් හරි. automatically cancel වෙනවා. වෙලා COC අර රිජෙක්ට් කරපු ලියුම තියෙනවා නම් ඒ ලියුමේ copy එකත් එක්ක තමයි අපිට claim කරන්න වෙන්නේ. with the supporting document. When you are giving a claim. Right? ඒවා guarantees වල mention කරලා තියෙනවා. Even though an on-demand bond exposes the contractor to the risk of unfair calling by the employer, it is more common in the competitive tendering market. Right? On-demand bonds will we expose the contractor to the risk of unfair calling, but in the common market, competitive market, tendering market again, ඒක තමයි common එක, on demand. The banks must simply pay out upon receipt of documentation specified in the bond without disputing the rights and the wrongs of the bond claim. We have nothing to do with to dispute with the rights and wrongs of the bond claim. If you have received a bond, yes, if you have received a claim under a bond, we have to honor. Therefore, it is advisable to obtain insurance against unfair bond calls. Right? Piyushan, any more clarification you need? I think I have covered.
No, it is clear, sir. Very clear.
It is very clear. Once I explain this particular one, then it will be okay. Important operational aspects of a bank guarantee. Right? What's the time now? 15:08. Shall we take 10 minutes break? Because my throat is aching now. Right? Haritama 10 minutes only. Can you come back and join the class again? Right? I'll keep this slide here. Right? You can read it. Or even 7 minutes is okay. Now it is 15:09. Okay, 3:20, sharp 3:20. I'm going to continue. Right, sharp 3:20. I'm going to continue. You also can have either a glass of water or cup of tea, and we'll take a small comfort break because it's 4-hour session. Right. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Right. මම එහෙම ඔයගොල්ලෝ තේ එකක් බීලා ගෙදර ගිහලාද කියලා. Right. Okay. Important operational aspects of a bank guarantee. Right. Actually, why I am doing this, this area is, this is a postgraduate diploma. Right. I know majority are either officers, estate managers or managers, right? Sometimes the branch managers are also there. I know in some banks. That was the last 8 years my experience. So this particular areas I have included this time. Don't worry, I have to tell you that no. I'm discussing these things for the benefit of you people. The practical operational issues, right? I might not test you on this particular thing, but it is very, very important that you should know about these areas, right? And the bank guarantees like end of questions in the types of bank guarantees. ඕක තමයි ඉතින් අපි දෙන්නේ හැමදාම දෙන question එක. Types of bank guarantees. Right? ඒතර කොහොමද අපි වෙන්නේ කියන එක ඔක්කොම custom guarantees, shipping guarantees ඔක්කොම දින් දාලා types of bank guarantees ඒ answer එක කරන්න ඕන. මේ ටික යන්නේ since even the branches are involving handling bank guarantees for your information, right? Format of bank guarantees, all guarantees should be issued in accordance with the bank's approved format. Every bank, they have their approved format. NTB, they have their own format. Now, because I have worked with all those banks, right? NDB, they have their own. Bank of Ceylon, they have their own, right? People's Bank, they have their own formats, vetted by their lawyers, legal department. Well, this is a legal document, right? So you can't do changes as and when you want it, right? Then any deviations of the format to comply with the specific requirement of the beneficiary should have the approval of the bank's legal department. Very important. Thank you. Rate kala. The original formats are all already approved by the legal. But if there's any deviations, because sometimes the customer might ask for certain deviations, you have to get the legal department approval. Now, why I'm telling you that is some departments, some organizations like Army, Navy, Air Force, right? And sometimes some authorities, they have their own formats, which is not in par with our bank format. So in a scenario like that, sometimes they insist you have to issue the guarantee on this format. අපිට format එක ගන්න. bank format එක ගන්න. Right? The people who are issuing bank guarantees, handling bank guarantees, you will agree with me. In a scenario like that, we'll have to get our legal department approval before we issue the guarantee. Certain reputed beneficiaries will have their own formats and expect the guarantees to be issued in such formats. That's what I have explained to you. Wordings of a guarantee. There are no standard international regulations to word guarantees. Hence, it could be worded freely depending on individual requirement. However, it should contain to indicate the purpose for which it is issued, expiry, and the conditions under which a claim to be made. Right? How to issue the claim and expiry and everything. Important aspects in a bank guarantee: the name of the applicant, name of the beneficiary, a short description of the underlying transactions requiring the issuance of guarantee, the maximum amount of payable and the currency which is payable, terms and conditions for claiming the payment in case of an eventuality, date of expiry of the guarantee, applicable law, applicable currency, applicable jurisdiction, format of the guarantee should be approved by the applicant and should be in accordance with the specifications of the beneficiary. මේ දෙකම අපි තියෙන්න ඕන. right හුඟක් ඒවා කියනවා claims can be submitted 3 days after the expiry. එහෙම claim එහෙම condition එකක් දානවා. Claims can be submitted 3 days after the expiry. ඒතර expiry එක අද නම් 6 December නම් even after the expiry bank guarantee is null and void අපි කියන්නේ legally. නමුත් ඒකේ clause එකක් තියෙනවා within 3 days you can after the expiry within 3 days you can submit the claims. Even tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you can submit the claims. Right? Sometimes I have seen some guarantees. There's a requirement of the beneficiary 7 days. 7 days after the expiry date. Sorry, within 7 days after the expiry, they can claim. Then the applicant can argue, but if he is helpless, he has to abide by the requirement. Right?
So, I mean, ගැන expiry date එකෙන් beneficiary registered post කරපු දවසද ගන්න ඕන?
If they have sent this thing on by registered post, then we'll have to take the registered post date. Registered post එක නම් date එකක් තියෙනවනේ. Hello.
Yes sir.
Have I answered your question? Or you need
Yes sir. Even after the expiry, if we receive that posted date, we have to take it. No?
Yeah, post. Yeah, registered date. Registered post date. Registered post date එකේද අපි දැම්ම නම් හරි. හැබැයි registered post එකේ එන්නේ නැහැ claims. 99.9% of the claims are delivered. That's a practical method. They are delivered. Right? Registered in the Bohoma Adi. Deliver Ganaman Jaffna Trinco projects api hange kala තියෙනවා. Beneficiaries la he inne. They send their special couriers. Right? Nobody wants to take a risk. And nobody wants to take a chance. Especially the beneficiary, because he is the one who is claiming. Right? So if something happens, if it is not according to the conditions of the guarantee, he will not get the claim. They can by hand tamai enne. Registered post date ganno. Important liability clauses in a bank guarantee. The bank guarantees are irrevocable and unconditional. Right? මේවා තමයි liability clauses අපි වැටෙන්නේ bank guarantee එකේ. Payable on first demand. ඔය කැලි දාන්න ඕන bank guarantee එකේ තැන් වල කැලි වල මේ liability clauses එනවා. Without contestation, demur or protest. They said our demand should be payable on first demand, without contestation, demur or protest. Argue කරන්න බෑ. You can't contest the demand. Right? Demur or protest. Demur කියන්නේ ඒකමයි. You can't you can't contest it. Right? එහෙම තමයි a liability clauses දානවා bank guarantee එකේ. Without reference to the principal in case of a claim. Without reference to the principal in case of a claim. Apo principal to then known there. Notwithstanding in a dispute between the parties. What dano? Make දැක්ක ගමන් තේරෙනවා bank guarantees කොච්චර risk එකද කියලා. If there's a dispute between the applicant and the beneficiary maybe put a claim. මං වාට හොඳ වැඩක් කරන්නම්කෝ කියලා claim එකක් කරනවා. dispute එක තියෙනවා දෙන්නගේ මේ වෙන case එකක් යන්නේ. But if they have put a legitimate claim, then we'll have to honor. Right? Treating any demand made on the bank as conclusive. Right? So these are important liability clauses in a bank guarantee. Amending a bank guarantee after issuance. Amendments to a guarantee cannot be made at the request of the beneficiary. Amendments to a guarantee cannot be made at the request of the beneficiary. Very important. The beneficiary will request, but that is not the only thing. However, if such request is approved by the principal, that's my customer, banks could comply with such request. Only my customer approves, then we can do the amendment. May when amendments could have in bank guarantees, amending the, extending the date, expiry date, extending the expiry date. I mean, that was COVID-19, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, most of the construction work and all are, I mean, you can't finish it on the due date. So both parties, they discussed and they agreed, okay, we'll extend the validity date. Right? Again, the validity date එක වැඩි වෙනවා නම් number of days වලට අපි fee එකක් ගන්න වෙනවා. Claim procedures. All claims should be made within the expiry date. Right? Any claims made after expiry should be rejected and not entertained. It is clear? Right. Any claims made within the expiry should be expeditiously settled. There shouldn't be any hesitation on the part of the bank in honoring a valid claim. Right? Cancellation of guarantee should be cancelled after expiry. Make an important. Now I need the feedback, genuine feedback of my students, right? Who are involved in corporate Chilean corporate Maheshida. Katya inna. Then matakiyan. Should be cancelled after expiry. If the expiry is 6th, can we cancel it on 7th?
No, we have to keep for another 30 days.
Normally we give 30 days. Normally we give 30 days. Abai, අතරේ ආවොත් එහෙම claim එක ගවන්නේ.
No.
We will not pay the claim, but cancellation we'll keep it 30 days. Very good answer. Is that Maheshida?
Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. Among name because you people are handling these type of things. Normally, these practical things the people should know, right? 30 days lang අපි මේක cancel කරන්නද? තියන් ඉන්නවා. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි cancel කරන්නේ. හැබැයි ඔය අතරේ මෙන්න මෙහෙම එකක් වෙනවා. මම ඒකත් අහන්නම්කෝ. This is also a practical thing. The applicant he has done his job for the supplier, right? ඊට පස්සේ දැන් මේ ඔක්කොම ඉවරයි, expired, guarantee is also expired, so he goes and collect the original guarantee. After 2-3 days time he goes to meet the beneficiary and collect the original guarantee. Cancel කරලා ගෙනල්ලා දෙනවා බැංකුවට. අපිට එතකොට පුළුවන් මේ cancel කරලා දාන්න guarantee එක?
We can.
We can. If we are having the original guarantee in our hands. Without the original guarantee, the beneficiary cannot claim. If we are having the original guarantee in our hands, yes, we can, right? Any premature cancellation should have the concurrence of the beneficiary. Even after expiry, it is preferable to wait for a further period of right? Period of 1 month for cancellation to avoid any disputes. Beneficiary cannot unilaterally make a request for an extension unless such extensions are authorized by the applicant. Right? Discuss release of the principal from the obligations. Right? If no claims are received within the expiry, even though the obligations of the bank is fully extinguished, we should be cautious in releasing the principal from the obligations. Again, after 30 days, right? In certain countries, the expiry dates are not enforceable. In certain countries, the expiry dates are not enforceable. Who can stop the bank from honoring its claim? No one has the authority to stop the bank from honoring its claim. However, if there's a dispute, only a court injunction could restrain the bank from honoring the claim. You have to obtain a court injunction in a dispute. Most often, attempts by principal to obtain such an injunction or restraining orders are refused by courts. Right. Make up, then we know. It's a case, then who died. Okay, we received a claim, right? Claim the bank had on demand, bank has to honor, but we will inform the principal or the applicant that my customer, he will say, sir, don't do it, hold on to the thing. There's a dispute, I will get you a injunction. I will get you an injunction. It can be a genuine case, right? But my injunction එක ගන්නයි කියන එක මේ අඩුම ගානේ අපිට දවසක් දෙකක් අපිට ඉන්න පුළුවන් practically අල්ලගෙන, but after that you have to honor. Then ගොඩාක් customers ලා අපිට ඇවිල්ලා කියනවා, okay sir, I'm going to get the injunction. I have already put the motion. ඔක්කොම කියනවා. ඒවා තාම ඒවා lawyer හම්බෙලත් නැහැ. ඒ කියන බොරු වලට අහු වුණොත් issuing bank is responsible, right? The later they can file action against, they can sue the issuing bank also. In exceptional circumstances such as a fraud, the courts do intervene with an injunction or restraining order. Then the leasing injunction are. If a bank purposely delays a settlement of a claim in anticipation of an injunction being served, it could result in action being filed by the beneficiary for damages, right? I'm jumping the gun වගේ කලින් යනවා කතා කරලා පල්ලෙහා අපි දාලා තියෙනවා, right? It bank is going to get affected, right? Minimatiga, this firm, I am not going to ask you any questions from your DG 758, right? Then DITM we discuss one by one. Diploma in trade, make it, I am not going to test you on your DG, but you should know in Sri Lanka, bank guarantees are governed by Uniform Rules for Demand Guarantees, URDG 758. Right? URDG 758. That is more aligned to UCP 600. And I have given, this is for your information, I have given you some important articles and the areas so that in case in your career, if you happens to refer URDG for guidance, right? URDG, you can download it from internet. ඊට පස්සේ ඒක ළඟ තියාගන්න. මම නම් කියන්නේ corporate departments වල ඉන්න කට්ටිය branch managers ලා branch assistant managers ලා ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේවා print outs අරගෙන ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ ලාච්චු වල තියාගෙන ඉන්නවා. UCP, URC, URDG. ඔය ටික තියාගෙන ඉන්න ඕන. right? URDG එකේම තියාගෙන ඉන්න ඕන කියන්නේ cases අහම then you know how to tackle. Even if you are in a branch, even if you are in a department, corporate department, when you're, I'm talking to people like Mahesh and all, when you're forwarding your, what do you call this, papers to your legal department, right, for their authority and concerns, right? එන්න අපිට උත්තර එන්න ඕනේ. ඔයාට පුළුවන් නම් when you are submitting, this is the guarantee, this is the claim, please advise us. Please advise us. එච්චරයි. ඔයගොල්ලෝ අරින්නේ එහෙමයි. Right? Please advise us whether we can honor the claim. Or yes or no answer එකක් මේ අහන්නේ. But when you are referring such things to your legal department or your hierarchies, always this is where you get highlighted, right? Always go through this URDG and see scope and application of the rules, Article 1, definitions and general provisions, liabilities and responsibilities, demands, expiry provisions, governing law and jurisdictions. මේවා මම මේ දීලා තියෙන එකයි. ඒක ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පෙරලලා බලලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. Expiry case එකක් ආවනම් as per the article 25 of URDG 758, it says this. For information කියලා ගහතයි. ඊට පස්සේ එහෙම නැත්නම් demands under article 20 URDG under article 20, it says this. Right? Then that will give them a better option to verify the case and decide on the case easily. Right? ඊට පස්සේ කියන්නේ and ඔක අතන ඉවර වෙන්නේ නැහැනේ. When they meet your bosses and all, they will discuss those things. So and so, when they are sending some requesting some clarification, this is how they do it, right? And ඒක තමයි ඔයගලන්ට ඕන වෙන්නේ. Because postgraduate එකෙන් පස්සේ then your next step you have to aim. Right. That's all. Any questions on that?
Sir, shipping guarantees issue කරනකොට exposure double වෙනවද?
Triple වෙනවා. 300%. 300%.
How that happens?
How that happens? Don't ask me how that happens. That's a normal shipping practice in the world. The reason is, right? Every country in the world, they want 300%. The reason I can see is, make a reason but reason what I can see and what I can gather is, when you issue a shipping guarantee is based on the BL, when you issue a BL, right? One of the most important aspects on a BL is it is a receipt for goods received. It's a document for goods received. It's a document for goods received, right? And when you receive the goods, right, you will give an undertaking. The shipping company will give an undertaking to the shipper. These documents will be delivered. These goods will be delivered to the correct person who will give us the bill of lading copy of original bill of lading. Who will submit the original bill of lading, because it's a title document. Whoever who is having the original bill of lading has a title to the goods. They have the title. He has the title to the goods. He's the owner, right? So if you are releasing that is the principle. So if you are releasing the goods without submitting the original BL, then you are taking a big risk. Okay? එහෙමනම් දැන් ඔන්න ඔතන තව කේස් එකක් එනවා. Then ඒකින්ද තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ කියන්නේ to discourage people asking for shipping guarantees, they said always there should be a liability of 300%. So in real practical scenario, you have to mark the customer's lines with 300%. If the goods value is BL value is $100,000, you have to mark $300,000. Right? එතකොට ඊට පස්සේ තව බිලක් ආවොත් තව 100,000 වලට තව 300,000. ඉතින් ඔහොම ආයතකොට අර shipping guarantee line එක full වෙනවා. හැබැයි ඉතින් ගොඩාක් banks මාර risk එකක් අරගෙන සමහර banks 300% mark කරනවා. සමහර banks මම දන්නවා 100% mark කරනවා. That is wrong, but they take the risk. But if something happens, you have to pay the shipping company 300%, whereas you are supposed to get only 100% from the customer. Itu 200% තමන්ගේ අතින් ගෙවන්න ඕන බැංකුවට. Are you ready for that? That is up to you. That's a corporate decision. The banks have taken that decision, right? Simply competition. Simply because of the competition. මොකද අතෙන්දී බැරි වෙලාවත් original document එක ආවි නැත්තම් these people have given the ownership of the goods to a wrong party. That's the main reason. ඒකේ risk එක ගන්න කැමති නැහැ shipping company එක. ඒකේ හින්දා තමයි මේගොල්ලෝ කියන්නේ. අනික කොච්චරද මේ cancellation period එක? Do you know that?
Until the original documents comes.
Huh?
Until the original documents.
Until the original documents comes. How many years? How many years? How many years? There's no
Limit.
exact years mentioned under this one. Until you get the original document, your liability is outstanding, right? But according to the Sri Lankan practice, අපි central bank එකේම documents වල validity period එක අපි කියලා තියෙන විදිහට අපි 6 years වලට විතර අපි දෙලා මේ කරා. අඩු ගන්න 6 years එකක් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි definitely that is why we are taking cash margin when we issue shipping guarantees, and we always take maximum precautions when we issue shipping guarantees. We issue shipping guarantees only for good customers. Why? We can't issue shipping guarantees for every Tom, Dick and Harry. Right? ඒකින්ද අපි මේකට 100% cash margin එකකුත් තියාගෙන ඉන්නවා. Against the cash margin, these people have to settle the bill. That's bill settle වෙලා යනවා. හැබැයි cash margin එක release කරන්නේ නැහැ until you bring the original BL, original BL. ඒකින්ද කවුරුකත් cash margin මේ millions ගණන් අපි කතා කරන්නේ. million ගණන් බැංකුවට තියාගෙන ඉන්නේ නැහැනේ. කොහමද ඒගොල්ලෝ ගිහලා cancel කරලා ගන්නවා. මං ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහපු question එකෙන්ද මම තා question එකක් අහන්න. මෙන්න මෙහෙම දෙයක්. Okay, if the entire set of BL got misplaced, vanish, then what is the situation? Okay, the documents are coming in courier planes නෙන්නේ DHL එම courier planes තියෙනවනේ කාට එනකොට මේක වුණා එකක් දැන් අවුරුදු කීපයකට කලින් අර Malaysian Airlines crash වෙච්ච වෙලාවේ එක ළඟ කීපයක් crash වුණේ. අන්න එතකොට bank documents උත් වුණා නම් දැන් අපි කොහෙන්ද original document එක හොයන්නේ? We will issue shipping guarantee and customer will clear the goods, right? On a copy document. Now, how we are going to cancel the thing? Our issues end up down practically enable. Within the Apikarane, we'll ask the customer to contact the shipping companies, his shipping company, and then they will contact the shipper. If it's a bona fide transaction, no hanky panky, then they will take some indemnity from the customers, the shipper, exporter indemnity akaragana egollo either they issue a letter or whatever thing to treat this as original කියලා. එතකොට අපි ඒක දීලා shipping guarantee එක cancel කරගන්නවා. මේ original එක දන්නවනේ මේක එව්වේ මේකේ මේ plane එක crash වෙනවා නෑ. ඒවා bona fide transactions. that ඒ වගේ දේවල් මම handle කරලා තියෙනවා. අපිට ඒක වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මේ ලෝකයේ වෙන්න බැරි කිසිම දෙයක් නෑනේ. අනේක වෙන්න පුළුවන් ඕන එකට උත්තරයකුත් තියෙන්න ඕන. එහෙම නැතුව ඉතින් BL එක නැහැ කියලා මේක කැන්සල් කරගන්න කොහොමද? ඒ කියන්නේ සදාකල් තියන්න දෙමිනියා බෑනේ. right? අපිට ඒක හදාගන්න පුළුවන්. right. Any other questions on guarantees? Can you see this presentation? URC 522?
No, sir.
No. පේන්නේ නැද්ද? මම මට මේකට exit වෙලා මට එන්න වෙනවා. එදා අපි URC 522 කීයට වෙනකන් ඩිස්කස් කළාද? මම හිතන්නේ questions එක ඩිස්කස් කරන්නේ අපි. Case studies. Case study 3 or 4. Whatever. What I thought was, I will take this opportunity to discuss this URC 522 and UCP 600 questions with you so that I'll try to take this opportunity to do some revision work also. When we are discussing the questions, it will be like a revision work for you. Right? අපි articles ටික බිහින් කරලා අපි ආපහු බලනකොට උගන්න කොහොම ටික ආපහු මේ රිෆ්‍රෙෂ් කරගන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් මේක එන්නේ නැත් ආවේ නැහැ කියලාද කියන්නේ? Cannot be seen.
Now we can see.
Now you can see.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Can you tell me, can somebody tell me up to which question we discussed? Case study 1 එක කළාද අපි? කළානේ?
Up to 3.
අපේ?
Up to 3rd question.
Up to 3rd question. Third එක ඉවරද? third එකත් කළා නේද?
Oh, sir.
මේක මං කෝ බලන්න කියලා. correction එක මේකත් අපි කළා. මෙන්න මේක. You received a call. මේ කියවන්න බලන්න question එක කොහොම ඔයාලා පේනවනේ. You received a phone call from a cargo handling company at the airport. A shipment of perishable goods has arrived and consigned to HSBC, Ho Chi Minh City. Right? May coma questions practically what I have gone through. Right? They can practically balapano. A shipment of perishable goods has received and consigned to HSBC, Ho Chi Minh City. Your valuable customer ABC Company Limited informs you that they have been expecting the goods and provides you with a pro forma invoice as evidence. ABC Company say the goods are urgently required. Okay, what course of action will you recommend? Are there any risk involved? Chirang maru ne.
Shipping guarantee.
Shipping guarantee. Kawuda kiwwe එක?
Dilipan.
Huh? Dilipan. Right. Any other answers? මේ question එක මේ වගේ question එකක් මේ මම ඕනකම දුන්නේ. Maybe these are practical things, right? You people, when you are facing an exam, first of all, you must read the question carefully. Then only you can write. So, if you mention to issue a shipping guarantee, answer is wrong. 0.
Sir, can we issue shipping guarantee for perishable goods?
Perishable good, yes. Perishable goods are the shipping guarantee issue. Because unless you clear the goods, it will get perished. Definitely, you have to issue a guarantee. You have to clear them. But this is not shipping guarantee. But this is not shipping guarantee. The bond you received a phone call from a cargo handling company at the airport. Telephone කොහෙන් දෙන්නේ airport එකට නැවෙනවද? These ships are coming to the airport. The air cargo. This is air cargo. Right? This is air cargo. Somebody has to mute the phone. I don't know. You received a phone call from cargo handling company. එතකොට මේක air cargo තියෙන්නේ. මේ question එක මම ගොඩක් වෙලාට දුන්නාම ළමයි කෙලින්ම ලියනවා shipping guarantee. It is 100% similar to shipping guarantee, but not shipping guarantee. මේක එන්නේ airway bill එකක් එන්නේ. Right? Airway bill එකේ එන්නේ අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන්. And the other thing, your customer, your valuable customer, ABC company. Maybe very important. Udayke first received a phone call from a cargo handling company at the airport. You have to understand it's a airway bill. It's not a BL. Then your valuable customer, ABC company, you have customers, but also you're having valuable customers. You are prime customers. ABC company is one of them. Then you have to help them. Right? It is your duty to help them. We can, in a scenario like this, right? We can ask the company, ABC company, to submit, based on the counter guarantee. Based on the counter guarantee of ABC company, right? Indemnifying the bank with all losses and damages. Indemnifying the bank for all losses and damages. The bank can issue a airway bill release. Airway bill release letter. අපි කියන්නේ AWB release letter කියලා කියන්නේ airway bill release letter එකක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්. There we indemnify the customer and the transaction. Based on the customer's counter guarantee and the indemnity, we issue airway bill release letter to the cargo handling company. Right? Then the bank will take the responsibility. But we pass the responsibility. We have already passed the responsibility to the customer. It's like just a BL එකක් වගේ යන්නේ. Once we receive the original airway bill, we will surrender it and get it cancelled. Right? Are there any risk involved? Are there any risk involved? Yes. If they don't get the original documents, it will be a problem. Right? If a customer get indemnity with cash margin, right? Okay. This one. You received an import DA 30 days bill stating, please avalize the bill of exchange. This is avalization. Right? The bill has been accepted. Due date advice has been sent to remitting bank. The bill has been accepted by the customer and also by the collecting bank. Due date advice has been sent to remitting bank. Right? On due date, importer advised that the goods are of bad quality and refused to pay. Now, this is a avalized bill. You have the bank, the collecting bank has been requested to avalize the bill of exchange. Right? And the bill of exchange has been accepted. and we have advised the due date to the remitting bank. On the due date, the customer comes and tells you he's supposed to pay us. No, he says, sorry, the goods are of bad quality and therefore we can't pay. You sent an advice of fate to remitting bank. Now you sent an advice of fate to remitting bank. Right? The remitting bank, my goods are of bad quality, therefore my customer is refusing to pay. The remitting bank replied that collecting bank must pay the bill. How will you proceed? How will you proceed? Is the collecting bank correct?
Yes, sir.
Collecting bank is correct. That means we can stay back without paying.
No, we have to pay.
Hmm?
We have to pay because avalization.
Yes. Because what is avalization? It's an irrevocable undertaking given by the avalized bank to pay. Irrevocable undertaking given by the collecting bank or within brackets avalized bank to pay. Right? In a scenario like that, and we are dealing only with documents. Banks are dealing. If you are answering this question, you might get questions like this, right? You might get questions like this. For the maker are important. The banks are dealing only with documents, not with goods. So we have nothing to do with the quality of the goods, right? So therefore, if you have avalized, if the collecting bank has avalized the bill, you can't say the customer is not paying due to bad quality or that's evaporated. You have to pay, right? You have to sort it out with the customer, right? There's no second word. Remitting bank is correct. What is the URC fileable to position in terms of avalization? What is the URC fileable to position in terms of avalization? There's no article regarding avalization in URC fileable. Right? මේකට දැම්මහම ළමයි මාර ඒ උත්තර ලියනවා. URC fileable to doesn't talk about avalization. Can you find the article? I'll leave it to you. Right? Avalization article එකක් තියෙනවා නම් මට හොයලා කියන්න. Right? Make your bank has received a documentary collection. Your bank has received a documentary collection from one of your correspondent banks abroad, drawn on one of your customers on DP terms and subject to URC 522. The relative goods have been dispatched by air freight consigned to your bank. Right? Air freight consigned to your bank. Briefly describe the position of your bank in relation to the goods as provided in URC 522. Your bank has received a documentary collection from one of your correspondent banks abroad. Your correspondent bank is a remitting bank, drawn on one of your customers on DP terms and subject to URC 522. The relative goods have been dispatched by the air freight consigned to your bank. the goods have been consigned to your bank. Briefly describe the position of your bank in relation to the goods as provided in URC 522. Can somebody tell me what is the relevant article?
Article 10.
How they give it? Who said that? Tuition there. Dinshan the cow there.
So, Sandharwan and someone else answered it.
Uday. Then perfect answer. What article 10 says, right? This one I'm not going to give you the answer, right? You have to answer this question, right? Make a karanna, make a lianna, right? You have to write, then only you will learn, right? Based on Article 10, you can prepare a nice reply, answer for this one. Here you have to touch Article A, 10A, B, C, and D. Right? Number one is Article 10A. The goods should not be dispatched directly to the address of the bank or consigned to the order of the bank. The relative goods have been dispatched by air freight consigned to your bank. This is wrong. So you have to say, as per the URC 522 Article 10A, the goods should not be dispatched directly to the address of a bank or consigned to the order of the bank without prior agreement on the part of the bank. Without prior agreement. It can be done, but you have to get the prior approval from the bank. Right? Make a very important. Collection collection වලදී ගොඩක් කට්ටිය කරන වැඩක් තමයි BL මේ C shipment එකක් මම දැකලා තියෙනවා. මට නම් කියන්න බෑ බැංක්ස් ටික මොකද මම හැන්ඩල් කරලා තියෙන බැංක්ස් ටික හොඳ නෑ නේ ඔයගලන්ට මම දැකලා තියෙනවා කස්ටමර්ස්ලා වැඩි හොඳට කොහෙද බැංක් එකකට කන්සයින් කරලා එවනවා කලෙක්ෂන් BL එක බැංක් එකට කන්සයින් කරලා එවනවා ඒක වැරදි right we can refuse but if you are that customer is a valued customer or something then api honor karana kalata you have to inform the shipper not to do this hereafter kila not to do this hereafter kila කියන්න මොකද ඒක consign කරලා එවන්නේ එහෙම consign කරලා එවුවා මොකද වෙන්නේ කියන්න බලන්න මට පොඩ්ඩක් කියන්න බලන්න දැන් on I have opened the forum right මේ platform එකේ අපි discuss කරමු දැක්කේ නැතුවට කමන්නේ අපි එකිනෙකා දකින්න නැතුවට කමන්නේ අපි we'll discuss openly when
any liabilities arise from that will book to bank
yes හරි තව පොඩ්ඩක් add කරන්න පුළුවන් ඒවා තියෙනවා ඔයා හරි පුතේ what is the basic principle of collection what is the basic principle of collection is the collecting bank or the presenting bank is liable to pay the remitting bank is a collecting bank or the presenting bank is liable to pay the remitting bank. Is they liable or not?
Not liable.
They are not liable. Collection means if the drawee pays, I will pay. I will remit. If the drawee doesn't pay, I will inform them he has not paid. The bank is not liable. But having said that, if you consign the goods to a bank, then without the bank's involvement, the drawee cannot clear the goods. The drawee cannot clear the goods. Right? එතකොට චුට්ටක් බලන්න unnecessarily the bank, collecting bank will get dragged on to unnecessary things, unnecessary responsibilities. වැඩක් නැහැ. You are seeking අපිට කිසිම රැකවරණයක් නැහැ. We don't get any cover from the provisions of URC 522. Right? Still, you get dragged onto this issue unnecessarily. Right? And the other thing, if the customer doesn't clear the goods, if the customer doesn't come to the bank to collect the documents, DP, DP, they have to come and pay and collect it. They don't come. Then what is the situation? The goods will be lying in the port on whose responsibility? On whose responsibility?
Remitting bank.
Banks.
No. No. Not the remitting bank.
Collecting bank.
Collecting bank.
Collecting bank. Who's a consignee? Collecting bank. Consignee is a collecting bank. Right? So this is our goods. The Armenia now we are getting dragged into some other thing. Then either we have to settle the bills and get the goods cleared, and we have to store it. Then we have to what do you call this? අපි store කරන විතර නෙමෙයි අපිට තව ඕන මේ insure කරන්න ඕන. ඔක්කොම කරන්න එපා. මේ අහගෙන එකක්. So we should not entertain these things. You have to go back to the remitting bank immediately and tell them. Right? ඒක හොඳ answer එකක් ඔයාලා හදන්න 10A, B, C and D. D, E ඔක්කොම. මුළු article එකම article 10 එකම අරගෙන brief කරලා summarize කරගෙන ලස්සනට article එක reply එකක් හදන්න. ඒ answer එක හදනකොට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට හොඳටම ඒක ඔළුවට වැටෙනවා. Right. This one, read. The collection instructions of a documentary collection received by your bank stated, collect interest if payment is not made on the first presentation. Since the drawee delayed payment of your bank has collected interest from the date of presentation to the date of payment at 6% per annum and remitted it along with the bill value to the remitting bank. Right? The remitting bank claims that the interest should have been collected up to the time of receipts of proceeds by them and should have been calculated at 10% per annum. 10% per annum. Analyze the case. Analyze the case and give me the answer. The collection instructions, it says collect interest. ඒගොල්ලෝ අපිට කියනවා collect interest if payment is not made on the first presentation. Right? මෙයා ටක් ගාලා ආපු ගමන් මේ කලෙක්ට් කළේ නැහැ. එහෙමනම් පරක් වෙනවා according to the documentary collection instructions what we have received, we said they want us to collect interest if payment is not made on the first presentation. Since the drawee delayed the payment of your bank had collected interest from, then drawee delay kalani. In the bank, bank hondai. They are good people. What they have done is, as per the instructions of the collection order, they have collected interest at 6% per annum from the date of presentation to the date of payment. Right? Plus the bill value they have remitted to the remitting bank. The remitting bank now claims that the interest what you have collected, that is 6% per annum to the time of receipt of proceeds by them. They said, no way, 6%, no. You have to collect, you have to calculate at 10% per annum. 10% per annum. Right? Now, what is the article covering this one?
Article number 4.
Article 4.
Article 4. Article 4. What a very good article.
Article 20.
Article 20.
Article 20. Article 20, what is the sub-article? Article 20, what is the sub-article?
B.
B. Very good. B. Very good. Article 20B. What is Article 20B says? Article 20B says, where such interest is to be collected, the collection instructions must specify the rate of interest period, and the basis of calculation. Yeah, collection instructions will then know. Make it deal. He has not given. They have just mentioned collect. Collect you want to collect kala. Abe then yanne 6%, abe 6% kala. Abe golange 10% you want. Emana iglo kiyan dona collect interest at 10% per annum. And basis of calculation. Basis of calculation kiyanne per annum ne. Per annum between brackets danama 360 days to 365 days again. Right? If it is sterling pounds, you have to say 365 days per annum. If it is US dollars, 360 days. 360 days. Dollar return calculations in interest calculation 360 order. Pounds order 365. Yeah, again up 365 and අපේ calculations වලට අපි කරන 365 මොකද අපි සුද්ධගෙන්ම යටත් විජිතනේ colonies නේ දැන් ඒව යන්නේ ඒතර නමුත් dollars වලට අපි යනවා නම් යන්න ඕනේ dollars නම් 360 days ඒ basis එකත් කියන්න ඕනේ එහෙම නැතුව එහෙම දාන්න එක බෑ. So you have to answer this question giving reference to Article 20B. Right? Yeah, you people are not bad. I don't know whether you people have done this. At least few people are talking. Very important. Other next week, I'm going to discuss another question. Will come foreign exchange, the theory and the sum. question එකක් එනවා. ඊට on top of that, I will discuss what do you call this UCP 600 questions also like this. There may එනවා නම් ගොඩක් වෙලාට එන්නේ මේවෙන් තමයි කැරිකියුලර් 60 එන්නේ. නම් වෙනස් වෙලා. ක්ලාස් එක කට් කළොත් අමාරු වෙනවා. මාත් එක්ක ඉඳලා මාත් එක්ක ආගිය කරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් නම් මම හරි ආසයි. ඒක පේෂන්ලා ඉන්නවා, සඳරුවන්ලා ඒ වගේ කට්ටියක් ඉන්නවා. මහේෂලේම. Or you always talk and argue with me. That's the way you have to learn. Case study 8. Kiwanaban. I'll bring my spectacles. Without spectacles, I can't read. ඔගොල්ලෝ මේක කියවලා මට රෙඩි වෙන්න ආන්සර් එකත් එක්ක. Right. What is this question? The collection instructions of a documentary collection drawn on 60 days DA term received by your bank stated the name and the address of a case of need without any further details. The bill was unpaid at maturity and your bank had drawn the attention of the drawee and the case of need requesting immediate settlement. Right? 60 days DA, they have collected the bills, they have cleared the goods, they have sold the goods, everything, but they have not settled the money. Bill was unpaid. Right? So, and they have mentioned about the case of need requesting immediate settlement. The case of need informs your bank to extend the due date by another 30 days. What is your position? Article?
25.
Article 25, very good. What is the answer? Can we take the instruction of case of need and extend the due date by another 30 days?
That power need to be there in the collection. Otherwise, bank is not accepting any instruction from the case of need.
Yes.
Power should be there.
If the case of need is mentioned, that's only a name, say. Right? Only a name. Mr. Pereira, in case of need, inform Mr. Pereira of 259 Colombo 15. Telephone number, blah, blah, blah. Continue. Right? That's it. They have not given any instructions, clear instructions. What is the powers this guy has? In that case, you have to say, inform Mr. Case of need, so and so, so and so, who is empowered for any extensions or settlements or changing the drawees or ඔක්කොම දාන්න ඕන. එයාගේ powers ටික කියන්න ඕන. ඒ powers යටතේ මොන හරි આવොත් විතරයි Right? It very clearly, the article says, if the principal nominates as representative to act as a case of need in the event of non-payment and or non-acceptance, the collection instruction should clearly and fully indicate the powers of such case of need. In the absence of such indication, banks will not accept any instructions from the case of need. It's clear? Right. I hope you people will answer these questions without any issues. This is also a nice question. Your bank has received a documentary collection drawn on 120 days usage terms. This is something like pulling your legs again, right? Your bank has received a documentary collection drawn on 120 days usage terms. However, the collection instructions do not state it is subject to URC 522. State with reason what action you would take. The collection instructions do not state it is subject to URC 522. Collection instruction, in this the above instructions are subject to URC 522. Collection order form එක ගන්නවා. ඒක නෑ. එහෙනම් මොකද්ද උත්තරේ? මොකද්ද උත්තරේ?
Clarify with the remitting bank.
Clarify with the
Remitting bank.
Remitting bank. Right. අපි මේකට answer එක දෙනවා නම් කොහොමද දෙන්නේ? If the collection instructions, the main issue here is the collection instructions do not state it is subject to URC 522. In a scenario like that, the provisions, the benefit you get under the provisions of URC 522, you will not get. Right? So normally, as per Article 1, it has to be mentioned that it is subject to URC 522. If it is not mentioned URC 522, then what is the issue? Then it is not subject to any provisions under URC 522. The best course of action you can take is immediately to go back to the remitting bank. Immediately to go back to the remitting bank. Right? However, then maybe mamme vedipura kali dana. Then what we want to uttara denna. The goods are fruits, perishable fruits. Grapes. Perishable. Immediately aragana cold rooms ulladala tiyadona. Then mugada karani. Remitting bank remitting bank ඒවා බලලා ඔක්කොම කරලා එනකොට දවස් 3-4ක් ගියොත් එහෙම මේක මොකද කරන්නේ? දැන් කස්ටමර් කෙනා මට ඉමිඩියට්ලි ඕනේ කියලා. 120 days usage terms. මොකද කරන්නේ? මේ වගේ questions වලට answer කරන්න වටේම ගහන්න ඕන. ඒකට තමයි අර දෙන්නේ අර
කස්ටමර්ගේ ඉන්ටර්මීඩියට් අරගෙන රිලීස් කරනවා.
කාගෙද ඉන්ඩිමිටි එක ගන්නෙ?
කස්ටමර්ගේ.
No. ඉන්ඩිමිටි එක මදි. මම කරනවා ඊට වෙනස් විදිහට. Number one, go back to the remitting bank and asking their feedback. And you have to mention that specifically these are perishable items. Make a key and mama can these are perishable items. So we need your written reply. The regular quote, please, sorry, we made a mistake. Please treat this as under URC 522 fine. එහෙම නැතුව ඒගොල්ලෝ සද්ද නැතුව හිටියොත් ඒගොල්ලෝ සද්ද නැහැ. එතකොට කවුද දන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ ඕන කමින් කළාද කියලා. එහෙම කරනවා ඇෆ්‍රිකන් කන්ට්‍රීස් කරනවා.
Do necessary actions and get the charge from Amending Bank.
What is the do necessary actions කියන්නේ?
Insurance like that and
No. This is something what you can do is you can, even though it's 120 days usance terms, if the customer wants the money immediately, the goods immediately, he has two options. One is, okay, he can pay at site and collect the documents. He can pay at site and collect the documents. Because one thing you have to mention here, if it is not subject to URC 522, then it is subject to what? Law. And again, important question again. If it is not subject to URC 522, then it is subject to which law?
Common law where the transaction happens.
Go on.
Common law where the transaction happens.
Common law of the transaction happens. Oh. Why is like දිනපාර හැදුවා එක කියන්නේ උත්තරේ. ඔය කටින් ගියා පුතේ ඒ ආන්සර් එක.
Law of contract.
No. Country law. Then it will be subject to the country law. Right? It will be subject to the country law. Country law එක කියන්නේ ඕනම country එක ඕනම law එක කියන්නේ. If there's a trade documents, trade goods, the beneficiary, right, is supposed to be paid against those documents. Ekane vendone, right? URC 522 දැම්මොත් වෙන්නේ 120 days වලින් pay කරේ නැත්නම් ඒක වෙනම scene එකක්. Country law එක නෙමෙයි ඒක කියන්නේ. Country law එකේ කියන්නේ if you are buying goods from somebody, then you have to pay immediately. You have to pay immediately. Right? Emana, okay, you pay on DP terms, cash given, given documents taken. That's done. Right? Emana, the indemnity you can take an indemnity, but you are asking for unnecessary risk, unnecessary involvements. Right? Either you collect money and release it, right? Then you remit the money to the remitting bank, or, but number one should be you have to contact the remitting bank for further instructions. Right? Eka hari. Country law එක තමයි apply වෙන්නේ 80%. Case study 10. Case study 10 එක මොකක්ද? මේ questions අපි ගොඩාක් අපේ මේ revision වගේ යන්නේ දැන්. මේක හොඳයි ඔයගොල්ලන්ට. You have received a set of documents with a single bill of exchange for US dollars 100,000. and includes two separate sets of shipping documents for US $60,000 and $40,000 to be handled on two separate sets of shipping documents. එක bill of exchange එකයි. හැබැයි shipping documents BL දෙකයි. 60,000 වලට එක BL එකක් තියෙනවා. 40,000 වලට තව BL එකක්. Right? Document sets දෙකක් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි එක bill of exchange එකයි. දෙකම DP. Side DP. Both sets of documents are in conformity with the local import control and exchange control regulations. The drawee informs you that he is facing a temporary cash flow problem and to release the first set of documents against the payment of $60,000, and they will pay $40,000 for the second set of documents in 2 weeks' time. What course of action the bank would take? One single bill of exchange for 100,000. Two sets. Now he says, I'm having cash flow problem. Therefore, I will pay $60,000. One set of bills I will pay immediately.
We cannot accommodate.
The balance one I will pay after. Give me 2 weeks to settle the thing, 40,000. Can we do that?
No, sir.
No. Article?
Article 19.
Article 19, very good. Sub-article? Article 19B. Article 19B. You can't, bill of exchange, you can't pay bits and pieces. Right? What course of action the bank would take? The bank action again. As per Article 19B, partial shipments, bits and pieces you can't. What the bank can කරන්න
Release documents only after full payment received.
What
After full payment received.
full payment
Received.
you wait for 2 weeks.
Oh, it can issue the facility for US dollars 40,000, then remit 100,000.
Good. You can't pay bits and pieces. Either you have to pay 100,000 or not. So the best thing is if the customer is a valued customer, ඒව දාන්න. හරිද? ඔය මේවයි උත්තර දෙනකොට මේ වගේ කැලි දාන්න. එතකොට examiner පොඩ්ඩක් fox වෙලා යනවා. Right? If the customer is a valued customer කියන එක හරි වැදගත් කැලලක් ඔය. The customer is a valued customer, then the bank can grant him an short-term import loan of US dollars 40,000 for 2 weeks' time. It was 60,000 cash දෙනවා යා. මේ 40,000 import loan එක debit කරනවා. ඒතර import loan එක debit කරනවා, cash එක debit කරනවා, ගෙලින්ම remit credit කරනවා US dollars 100,000. Double entry. Right? Okay. I think we have covered that part also. Yours is fileable to questions copy. Right? Next week, I'm going to start the economic section again. Another important one is Forex, right? And if I manage to finish it, I will discuss the questions of UCP 600, right? Now coming back to your assignment, right? Any questions you want to clarify? Magi answer එක අහන්න එපා. මම ඔයගලන්ට support එකක් දෙන්නම්. මොන angle එකෙන්ද හිතන්න ඕනේ කියන එක. තාම බැලුවෙත් නැද්ද? එහෙනම් හොඳයි. එතන මං නිදහස් ඔයගොල්ලෝ පටන් ගන්න. වැඩේ කරන්න. right? ඒ question එකේ parts කීපයක් තියෙනවා. හොඳට කියලා බලන්න. මට දැන් මතක නැහැ question එක. නැත්නම් මට අටපාඩම් තිබුණා නම් මට තියෙන මම ඒක ඇත්තෙත් නැහැ. print එකකුත් නැහැනේ. ඒකෙදි තිබුණේ value addition එකක් තිබුණේ නේ. If I am correct. Oh. හරිම ලේසි assignment එකක්. මම ඔයගන්ට මේ COVID-19 හින්දාමයි එච්චර ලේසි එකක් දුන්නේ. You can easily build up a good answer. Because I have discussed with you the entire scenarios. Entire scenarios මම ඔයගොල්ලත් එක්ක discuss කරලා තියෙනවා. Right? Right. තවත් මොන හරි issues තියෙනවා නම් මට next week kind of, but next week will be too late. You better start doing the answering the assignment, and while doing it, if you have any questions, then you can check with me. Right? මොන හරි issues තියෙනවා නම් give me a call and I will try to support you. Okay, right? Anything you want to ask? Otherwise, we'll call it a day. Thank you very much for your participation. I really like this. Next week, if possible, I will go to the IBSL and try to conduct the class from there, because I need the whiteboard to do the sums. Right? බලමු එහෙම නැත්නම් මම theory part එක කරලා ඊට පස්සේ මම ඔයගොල්ලොත් එක්ක week after that I will do the sums කරනකොට නම් මේක ඕන වෙනවා whiteboard එක. Right? ඒක කරන්න අපි බලන්න පුළුවන්. බලමු අපි කොහොමද කරන්නේ කියන එක check කරලා බලමු. Right? Okay.